Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. I am your whimsical DM. Oh, my Twitch stream was not muted, and I just started hearing myself. I'm your whimsical DM, Victoria, and I'm now muted on stream for myself. And we're going to play D&D tonight. Before we do that, we're going to do some announcements and a recap. So, Kristy, if you could be so kind as to lead us off in those announcements, I would appreciate it.
Good evening, and welcome to the show. Now, here's a word from our sponsors. Little Dragon Core is a Canadian-based dice company that supplies all kinds of cool tabletop gear. I mean, look at all these pretty dicey boys. Head on over to littledragoncorp.com and enter the coupon code BONUS for 15% off your order. That's BONUS. Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar game store local to Evans, Georgia. They have a wide selection of tabletop gaming and other cool games like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon cards, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! You can visit them in-store and let them know that we sent you, or you can go visit their website at cardboardcastlegames.com. Also, big thanks to Syrinscape for the amazing atmospheric sounds and music. You can add these sounds and more to your game when you download the Syrinscape desktop or mobile app. The app is free and comes with 20 sound sets that are included to get you started. You don't even need to register. Go to Syrinscape.com to find out more. Thanks as well to Adrian Von Ziegler for providing some additional music that we use here on Thursday nights. He's a talented composer with great content usage rights, so go check out his YouTube and Patreon and support him if you can. Please check out our other games. We stream almost every day here at Probo. We have games for several of the major published 5e modules, as well as homebrew games, and some of our games feature systems other than 5e, like Star Wars, Power Rangers, and Alien. Come watch all of our VODs over on our YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget, you can also support the channel by following, by subscribing, remembering to click the bell notification so you never miss another live stream, using channel emotes, and if you're an Amazon Prime user, you get a free subscription to Twitch every month. Thanks again to all of our sponsors for supporting Proficiency Bonus. And now, back to the show.
We're back. Thank you very much, Kristy, for your amazing ad reel. I appreciate it. I should have been doing chat commands. I'll do them now. We're gonna kick right over to a recap so that I can put those little chat commands in. Ink, if you could be so kind as to tell the people what happened here on our last session.
Yeah. Precursor for the recap, everyone. We've been having a rolling spoiler warning for the end chapters of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Your game definitely will not look like ours, but there may still be some things that happen or are talked about that you would like to not have spoiled. So just spoiler warning for the past couple episodes as well as this one. That being said, we beat the witches, guys! They're like super duper dead! And no one mourns the wicked.
Wow.
The party had their showdown with the Hourglass Coven, and with one death and subsequent resurrection, we stand victorious, and the land of Prismere is almost free. Of course, that means that Zybilna is still frozen in time, and there may be foes yet waiting for us at the castle of Heart's Desire. So, the party in preparation decides to take some time to lick their wounds and prepare for the final stages. In that time, we discovered all of the shadow masks of all of the people whose shadows had been taken over the very long stint of Endelin's rule here in Motherhorn. And Clover and Saoirse and Ego worked together to create a powerful ritual to free them. The good news is it was successful, and hundreds if not thousands of shadows have gone free. But like all things in the Feywild, there is a price to pay. And the price that was paid was Clover's magic. Possibly forever, as the connection between her and her patron is severed, and everything that had made her once magical before seems to revert back to a version of herself in the past. Even her wings are now just simple costume. With that heavy weight on the party, they make their way back to Sue, where she greets them with smiles and warm meals and comfort in this home away from home. Some get ready for bed, others are gifted a new suit, some enjoy their meals. The future looked bright, but now it is also clouded with uncertainty. And it is in that cloud that we find ourselves right now, Victoria.
That we do. Thank you very much for your recap. So for Ink and for Kristy, you may take D6 Bardic Inspirations for your contributions to the stream. And for our DJ Graph and for our Keeper of Lore / like Fey bargains and deals, excuse me, Iris, because your characters are whole or have been made whole, you can take Player Inspiration for your contributions to the stream. Hey, you know, we're at the end of the road. Some people are eating, some people are resting, a lot of people are going through it right now. So is there anything else that anyone wants to like say or do, or otherwise are we eating dinny and going to bed?
I had one question that I had totally forgotten at the end of last session, but I think I know the answer.
Okay.
My baby hair is not going to be what makes me whole, it's my heart, right?
You know what? Ego can roll an Arcana check. Oh, yeah. You can roll like an Arcana check. If you want to like, as Ego, like sit and like ponder these things.
Okay. Yes. Let's see here.
You know what? I should have opened the Roll20. That would have been a great idea.
And it's a 23. So I know that it's important and powerful for me, but I don't know if it makes me whole.
Yeah, so oh my god, Roll20, for the love of God. Ego takes time and looks at, you know, the baby hair, but also that wand of smiles. And also just does like a little bit of introspection. And you know, you think back to when the baby hair was like revealed to you in the dream, where the hags made the offer to you to join their coven and train with them in exchange for giving you that hair. And I think you would recall that hair was taken by your mother when you were very, very small. And 2, your lost thing was your smile that you now kind of sort of have back because you are in possession of the Wand of Smiles. So while the baby hair is something that you lost, it's not necessarily your lost thing in the context of what's been happening here in Prismere. That would be your smile. As for your heart,
A whole other thing.
I think Ego starts getting like real, like, I don't know, metaphysical, philosophical in some of these thought processes, and you start thinking on like what actually like makes a person, you know, because you're like, I have this body, but then this heart is like definitely not the body that was like, or this heart was not the heart that was in this body. So like, what happened there? Like, how am I alive? Like, what makes me me? Is it my heart? Is it my body? Is it my soul?
The pot roast and stuff was brought before Dawn and I, and if Dawn looks over at Ego in this moment, there is no, like, it is like This was like mid like fork going to the mouth. Ego is just staring down at the table, like with the food in front of them, and they're not taking the bite.
Yeah, and like I think you're just really like lost, and you realize that like you're not. It's not something that your mother ever explained to you. Was like, what is like a person like. Not just like their personality, but like the elements of a person. You know, like what is it that makes them them? Is it their mind? Because then does that make somebody who is like in a coma, does that make them not a person? Or a baby that has no thoughts, are they not a person? And then what about souls? Well, there are some people that give up their souls. Are they not people? Again, with hearts, there are people that lose their hearts. You literally met like that the musician who had his heart taken by Bavlorna, and he was very much still alive, although different for it.
As far as I know, you become a heartless, and then a different version of you can become a nobody.
Oh no! Not the nobodies!
And I don't know. I feel a deep desire to like have a blue popsicle while I talk with my friend.
And rearrange your name and put an X in it.
Yeah. So
my new name is like Egox.
Egox.
Zigo.
Goix is your name. Goix.
Yeah, so I think you, regarding like your heart, I honestly think that you taking this time to think about that leaves you with more questions than answers ultimately. However, the question of like, what is my lost thing? When you sit there with the hair, the wand, and your heart, you know, like slowly like beating in your chest, that hunger that you felt like when you were in Hither is sated by having the wand on you. So that leads you to believe that is like the lost thing that is like keeping you from really being whole. The baby hair obviously was lost at some point, but you were a baby, so you don't really know like what the conditions were where that happened. You would probably have to ask your mother or someone else that was present whenever that was taken from you. Yeah, and your heart, I think there's some big question marks and just weird stuff happening there that it's its whole own separate issue.
Understood. Thank you.
Yeah, so you glitch out there for a little while in front of Dawn while eating stew and pot roast and boysenberry tarts.
Dad is just staring at him, and he's like, "Are you good?"
How many parts of yourself can you lose before you're a different person?
Oh no.
I don't want to engage with this conversation.
It's not. Oh no, the ship. It's the ship. He's the ship.
Dawn goes, I don't want to engage with this, and I just go back to eating. That was a setup for a whole character conversation. I was like, I'm tired.
Don, like, you hit him with a question, and Don immediately is like, nah, I've already had a busy day. I'm good.
Bro's like, eat your pot roast.
Literally, it's like, we already have somebody that's having an existential crisis. We don't need another one right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anything else that anyone wants to say or do? Or are we going to sleepies?
Your mom.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Oh my god. Did you make the description for our Discord call the freaking
Yes, I surely did.
I love you.
That cat.
It's that cat.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You went to your room, right, Clover?
Yeah, I did. I went with some ice cream.
Okay.
Hey, asking for a friend, how big is my compass?
That is not what I thought you were going to say. That is not what I thought.
How big is my
cup?
I want to roll for it?
Let's see. You can hold it like this in your palm.
I
know that that's not
couldn't
like
swallow it.
Hey,
Why would you
Stop!
want to swallow
Why?
your lost
I just
face?
want
you
to
can,
so he,
you can
so he
swallow,
doesn't lose it.
you
Oh,
can
so I
swallow
could
anything
absorb
if you
it.
try hard enough. But yeah, this is like when a kid tries to like put their whole fist in their mouth, and it's like their fist is just literally wider than their mouth can stretch to.
Yeah.
You can certainly try.
I'm just thinking because Sam said that he wouldn't give it back to me, right? So
He said he will. Okay, hold on. Y'all keep saying that, or at least Jamie, and I just want to clarify that Sam will absolutely help you give you your thing back and has said so. You have to make a deal with him. He doesn't just give you freebies.
He doesn't do it for free.
yeah,
So, in
his
that
deals
sense,
are always
no, he's
sus though.
I don't know. I don't even remember what deal I made with him, but I got a big booty. I got a big satyr booty because of it. So, and other things.
And other thing.
Yeah. So, anything else anyone want? Are you going to swallow the compass?
No, I can't. It's too big.
Okay.
That's quitter talk.
That is Twitter.
I'm a quitter. I don't know.
You know, it's probably for the best because even if you could get it down, getting it out the other end is going to be like really bad. Like, I don't even think it would make it. I think it would get stuck in like your jejunum or whatever is the piece that goes from your stomach to your intestine. Like it would just be stuck there.
Perfect.
So yeah.
It's part of me again.
Okay. Going once for doing anything to say or do. Going twice. Okay. So, I'm assuming everybody's taking a long rest. Is that false for anyone? Alright.
No, Saoirse tries to stay up and then eventually passes out.
Yeah. So, okay. Normally my Phalos have dreams to roll for. Clover and Ego, you are not rolling tonight. The only Phalos that's rolling tonight is Saoirse.
Hey now. This is what dreams are made of.
A point of order before sleepy times for Ego. The black book you would know because you probably would have like done an identify or just spent more than an hour with it. You have to attune to it to be able to like read it. Like, yeah.
Don might have to attune to it then because he said he would use it to teach reading, but
Yeah.
I want it. We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, so you're not attuning to it tonight?
I think I don't want to do anything with the black book while I have no spell slots and 15 HP, respectfully.
Okay. That's fair.
Howard.
I just want to say before Aurum
Okay, you attune to it then. Here you go, Don. How much
right
HP do
now.
you have?
Haven't we had this conversation?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I'll attune to it.
No, you'll eat it.
You can't read anyway, so.
No, I just want to say before I go to bed, I'm thinking about how everybody yelled at me for wanting to make my own court, and wanting to know
We
more
specifically
about the
yelled at
Uncourt.
you for talking about making your own court. I
He's
feel like
gonna
I
go
should
into
be very
private and be like,
clear.
I wanted a new court, a court for me, and my court.
I'm just thinking about it.
Okay, so you said that you're thinking about the fact that everyone yelled at you for talking about making your own court.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about how I want to learn more about the Uncourt.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. Wanted to give you where my head's at.
Okay. We will get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get to. I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? That's crazy. I was gonna start with you, but we won't do that. Instead, we're gonna start with. No, get out of here.
Okay.
Sorry. You're good.
Take this instead.
So, we will start with Clover, I think. Clover, I think it's one of those nights where you're like, you really want to be asleep, you know, but it's hard. It's slow
Oh,
to
yeah.
come to you.
Oh yeah.
And there's also a part of you that is like, maybe like even doesn't want to fall asleep because you know that the chance of like seeing your friend in your dreams is now also gone, because that has on occasion happened.
Right.
But eventually sleep does take you. And you immediately find yourself in a place that is like foreign yet very familiar. You awaken and you are in like a little like, you know how like some trees will like get like the bark will like open and have like a little hole in it?
Yeah.
You're basically in like a little hole in
A hollow.
in a tree, a little hollow. Thank you, that was the word. You just have like a threadbare blanket over you and like some dried leaves pushed underneath your head for a pillow. And I think this is one of the first time, not the first time, but one of the first times that you realize like you are in the summer court right now. And this is, you look down at your body and like this is old you. This is pre-face trader you.
Whoa. Okay.
And it's like everything is very clear. That fog feels like it's lifted in this dream. And you like look out through this little hollow and you can see that it's like kind of this like little forgotten corner at the end of what you could call an alley. It's really just like a thin branch with like a flat walkway on it that like goes behind like a cluster of like little shops that are also built into various like parts of a giant tree trunk. There's like a little bit of detritus on the street there. Like this is very much like a forgotten little like trash alley. Like, like the Fey dumpsters. The Fey dumpsters are lining it.
You found it, the shutdown server of Pixie Hollow.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Okay.
And you, I think, have a moment of like, you are living this, but you also are still aware of who you have become. And what was lost. Like, you're still present you, but you're also like, you're kind of both versions of you. And you realize that you're in this like you've been really struggling. You've been very scared. Everything here has been like so beautiful, but then you'll say or do something and someone will just like explode at you or try to like chase you away, or like I think you know, like at one point somebody like stole your ability to talk for like a day. You know, at one point somebody made it so that you like farted out of your mouth and burped out of your butt. Like you're going through some really, some really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I think you awaken on this day and you're feeling like a little bit hopeful because you talked to the mean girl dryad yesterday before going to sleep. And she had told you like, well, if you're like so sick of like getting bullied, like just don't stop being yourself, like duh. And it's something that well, I guess what would Clover think of this? Because previously when we've talked about her doing this, I think it was very shocking. It seemed like it was very shocking to you that Clover would make that choice. So, you know, what do you think has been going through Clover's mind as she has been like stewing over that information that there is this face trader?
I think she probably sat on it for like a good week and suffered for it, and like that week got even harder than like the previous weeks that she's been here, and she's like, all she can hear in her mind is her mom telling her, survive, do not give up, whatever it takes, you are stronger than you know, do not give up. Like I feel like that's like in her mind she can just hear her mom like almost like screaming at her like, do not. And she doesn't want to disappoint her. So whatever the cost, after the shittiest week of probably her life here, she breaks and gives in and goes searching for it. Because she'll look at her mom and be like, no, I can't.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, I'm just adjusting the chat rewards. Thank you, Derek.
oh, thanks, Derek.
NMGM reroll.
Nice. Yeah, so you walk all through these tree branches that you think at this point, because you've been here for what feels like weeks, maybe
Right.
even months, you feel like at this point you should understand like how to get places and where to find things. And aside from like a couple key landmarks, like it's almost as if the layout of this place changes at random and you feel just as lost today as you do any other day. It's almost as if you can feel that this giant collection of like, it's like this city is built onto a collection of absolutely massive trees, and all of their like boughs are like bent and curved and have slowly been like shaped over time to form these paths. And like the biggest tree that there is that is way above like all of the rest, and you have seen that there's some sort of a palace up there, that tree's trunk is at least a mile thick. So these trees are absolutely massive. Like, you can't even see the ground. You don't like.
Right.
This is a very big city made out of a bunch of really big trees, and you wind through and wander, and it's just you can't find it. You're like, I've been to where all of the shops are. Like, I'm not like you're not finding it. What do you do?
Oh, what do I do? I think how much worse could it get? I'll go ask someone. How much, like, what else will the bad luck do to me at this point? I have to find it. Otherwise, I'm not going to survive much longer. So I'll just start asking.
Okay.
If anyone knows where to go.
Yeah, so you maybe approach like a little cluster of pixies to ask them like where. I've heard that there's like an Emporium of Faces, like where is that? And immediately like they laugh at you and polymorph you into a cat.
Oh my god.
And then they just like they go and like find some sticks and start like chasing you and trying to hit you with sticks as a cat.
I run back to my alley. Fuck this shit.
You go back to your alley, you kind of throw off those fairies, but you are not alone here. You've never really seen anybody come down this alley, but when you turn the corner as a cat, you are not alone because you are looking into the face of another cat, a small white kitten with like very deep, like purpley bluish eyes that have like a little bit of a twinkle to them. And the cat will like trot up to you and like kind of like sniffs you a little bit, like does like the little like nose like sniffing and is like purring.
I'll purr back if I figure out how to. I don't think she's ever been polymorphed into a cat yet.
Because you kind of like when you're polymorphed, you kind of like become that animal. You just still have your personality. I think you innately know how. And in your mind, you would hear a voice that says, "Everything's all right. You're not alone. Do you need help?"
Yes. Yes, I'm looking for the face of the Emporium Faces. I don't know where it is. I really need to find it.
I can help you find that.
What do you want in exchange?
How about we decide after you're done in the Emporium? It's not so far.
Okay. Okay, yeah. That doesn't seem so
I'll even come
bad.
in with you if you want.
That would be nice.
This isn't... I'm guessing you want to have your face back in order to go to the Face Emporium?
Oh, yeah, I guess that... How do I stop being a cat? I mean, it's really nice and really cool, and it's actually, like, kind of comforting, but... I don't think I can survive as a cat either.
Well, it's not so bad being a cat. And I think you'll find that, in a way, you never really stop being one. But if you'd like to stop being one right now, I can do that for you.
Can the people that work at the Emporium understand me?
No.
Then, yeah, I'd like to not be a cat so I can talk. Wait, can I still understand you if I stop being a cat?
Yes, but only you. Nobody else can understand me.
Oh,
Well, no one else here, anyway.
okay. Yeah, that sounds really good. In exchange for something after?
In exchange for something after.
Okay.
And the cat rubs its cheek against your little cat cheek. And as he does, you feel like the fur kind of like retract back into your body, and like your spine begins to straighten, your joints like fall back into that bipedal configuration. And you are halfling you again. And the little white kitten is still there with you. Is that better?
And she's like really, you could see like on the tip of her tongue, she wants to say thank you, but she's learned her lesson like at least 3 or 4 different times, like just automatically. So she's like,
If it helps, I'm not one of them. I'm not a fae. You can thank me and I won't hold it against you.
If they're a fae, they have to tell you they're a fae. That's
if
the
you're a fae, you have to tell me that's the rules, right?
I'm a friend.
I could really use a friend.
Well, you'll always have me. Here, it's this way. I would say try not to walk too fast, but you have short legs, so I think we'll be moving at the same pace.
She's got like a 25-foot walking speed, I think.
And so you guys begin to toddle off, and the cat like talks with you for a little while, just like asks you like what has been happening to you here.
Oh,
Like,
she
you seem like
trauma
you've been having a
dumps.
really rough-
She probably trauma dumps.
My
And she-
God.
Because no one
And the
else
cat-
had listened to her before. Every time she tries, she is immediately shut down or like completely cursed with something for like a day or two, and she's like, okay, I just can't. But her being like, or this creature being like, I'll be your friend, she's like, then here's everything you need to know.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that all of that happened to you and that you haven't found any compassion here. You know, the Fae are fickle. There are some that are capable of making incredible wishes come true, or feeling certain feelings in the most pure way, but
Yeah.
they can be very cruel. Would you like to hear a story?
I'd love to.
Have you ever heard of the cat zodiac?
Has she?
I think you've probably heard the kind of like the Honda Toru version where it's like all of the animals got invited to a banquet with like the gods, and the cat was like lazy and didn't show up, and like it made God sad and got punished for it.
So she's heard
version.
she's heard that version for sure. Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, she would recite back the version she's heard, which is probably like a very butchered fairy tale version of it.
Some of the details are right.
You mean it's real?
Of course it is. A lot of stories are real.
Well, what parts are wrong?
I wouldn't say that they're necessarily wrong. more so that certain details have been left out or changed, but I can understand why they would change them. I know what really happened, though, and, well, I might be one of the only beings out there that can actually talk about it.
Could you tell me the real version then? Like to
Of
hear
course.
it.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, before the worlds of men and elves, before anything, really, there was a great palace in the stars. And in this palace, the Jade Emperor ruled. A god, you could say, but not concerned with any sort of domain or aspect the way that other gods are. I'm sure you've heard of some gods of the sun or storms or love or beauty. The Jade Emperor didn't care for any of this, because as time went on and as the worlds of men and humanoids formed and the material planes sprung into existence, the Jade Emperor had one purpose, and that was to see to it that all souls would be cycled through properly at the time of death and be ferried back to where they could be made clean and then cycled back into, be they mortals or fae or really any creature with a soul, so that life may continue. The Jade Emperor had at his disposal many different beasts and creatures that were loyal to him, born of the stars, and what they were varies depending on what culture tells the story, and really, it doesn't quite matter. In some tellings, there's the rat and the bull and the tiger and the dragon. In others, the manticore, the unicorn. But each of these forms existed simultaneously and ultimately were just different versions of the same creatures.
Oh.
The Jade Emperor had 13 servants, one of which was the cat, the most favored servant of them all. And one day, the cat, while roaming the stars and traveling all of the planes, heard a cry for help. From deep in the Feywild, where the courts were new, there were two hearts that longed to stay together forever. But they knew that by the laws of existence it could not be. One was a fae, an archfey at that, one of the oldest archfey. And the other was a mortal, whose time would be gone just as soon as it had started in the eyes of the fae. The cat, you could say, was a romantic, and couldn't just hear such a pure wish being made and let it go unanswered. And so the cat reached down from the stars and granted that wish, and true love was born. But when the cat returned home to the Jade Emperor's palace, where the great water wheel of souls turned, the Emperor himself was not happy. In order for souls to be connected through true love, that means that they can never become pure and clean again after an individual dies. Those two souls are always linked, and so are never stripped of the mind and heart of the person that they once belonged to. The Jade Emperor was livid and punished the cat. Instead of being considered a peer among the Zodiacs, the cat was banished to a prison beyond the stars, where his only domain would be that of abnormal life. There would be no more souls born naturally under his sign. Only those who found unnatural life would be his. That may sound strange, and it is, because the kinds of people who are born in such a way are oftentimes ill-intended. Have you ever heard of a lich?
I don't think so.
Have you ever heard of a vampire?
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Beings who find life in undeath are not the only type of creature that is born under the cat zodiac now, but quite a common kind. And so the cat found himself the shepherd and guardian of beings living in undeath, those who fought against it and held onto their souls and consumed the souls of others even. And it made the cat very sad.
That is very sad. Doesn't seem very fair.
I do not know whether it was fair or unfair. I just know what happened. But there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here for the cat. As it turns out, some lives that were never meant to be lived are born out of a very pure want. And there is some magic, rare as it may be, that can bring life to those who may not have had it otherwise, in a way that, while not natural, is far less corrupting than a vampiric curse or lichdom.
So not all the unwanted are unwanted?
It is not that those souls are unwanted, it's rather that some lives are very desperately wanted, and some people, one way or another, will find a way to have life. Some of them do it by becoming a vampire, some of it do it by stealing the souls of others and consuming them to continue their life for magical research. A lich is a complicated being to explain, but some are simply born out of a wish, just as true love itself was born out of a pure wish made by two hearts wishing to be together forever, two souls permanently intertwined. There are some who are just desperately wanted, and that desire can lead to someone being of the cat zodiac, and in fact, changing one's face, I would think, may be criteria enough for becoming a cat zodiac. Because you are still you, but living a different life, a different face. So if you do go through with this, even if you are alone, you're not really alone. The cat will be watching over you.
Sounds like the cat is watching over a lot of things. A lot of beings. And maybe some of them are bad, but it sounds like not all of them are, and I think that's nice. That the misfits have someone to look up to.
You're right, not all of them are bad. Some of them are wonderful. Some of them are like you.
I could be under?
Cat zodiac,
Yeah.
I think you'll find you are quite welcome and at home under the sign of the cat.
I like the sound of that.
Would you choose that?
I think so.
Sounds like I wouldn't be alone.
Here we are. Face Emporium. Look at that.
Boy.
And
You
you
think-
find yourself in front of this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there a reflection she can see? Like in the window pane or a mirror or something?
Yeah, this is like a very unassuming little building that's been like hollowed out again into like a very thick branch that's like curving up. And it has like a plain door, and just like one tiny little window that's kind of this like oblong like shape, almost like shaped like a face, or like that kind of like oval shape. And it has like dirty, dusty glass, but if you get up on your tippy toes, you think you could look into it.
I think she wants to get like one last look at her mom and dad's face. Mostly her mom's. And she'll like force a smile. And then get back down off her tippy toes and take a deep breath and push the door open.
Do you want the cat to come with you, or do you want the cat to wait outside?
I think she would leave the door open for the cat to follow if the cat wants to. I don't think she would ask either way. I don't think she would tell me, like, you stay here or come with me. I think she would leave the option to the cat and leave the door kind of cracked open, you know, and then the cat can just burst in if they want to, which they usually do.
Yeah, the cat will bum rush the door as it's closing.
Yeah.
As it's like naturally falling closed, the cat will rush in with like a little trill. And just is kind of like walking like right behind you. Just kind of like being a little guy. And you walk in and you can see that like behind the counter of this shop, which you walk right up to, it's basically right there. There are just like rows and rows of shelves that look sort of like bookshelves. But on them you can see these like little mannequins with these like little faces on them of every kind of person that exists, many of which you didn't even realize were like a thing.
Yeah.
And seemingly out of nowhere, you would see that this like cloaked being just kind of like approaches from behind the counter and says, "Welcome to the Face Emporium. How may I aid you?"
I think I need a new face.
Well, you're in the right place for a new face. If you don't mind me asking, why? Yours is quite lovely. A mortal face, to be sure, lacking a bit of the sparkle and shine of the Fae, or the cruelty and malice of a devil, but lovely nonetheless.
Thank you. But I think I need something that will help me survive here in the Feywild. Something that's less obvious that I'm not from here. Something that won't immediately cause scorn or bullying.
That is clever. A wise thought indeed. I can help you with this, but I must tell you the terms of exchange here. We do not take currency that you may be used to where you are from. And you're like looking into like a black, and it really do be like the oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Organization 13 with like the shadowy cloak.
Yeah.
Just into, like darkness. Yeah, it's just this like very like dark red cloak. You're not seeing like any features other than that this person is like maybe 5.5 feet tall.
Okay.
But like even looking up into their hood, you just see shadows. So that you are aware, in order to gain a face, you must give a face. If you are to take a Fae face, I must take yours in return. That is the nature of this bargain. But I would be more than happy to assist you in finding something a bit more Fae.
I think she like clenches and unclenches her fists a few times, kind of like glances down at the cat behind her, And again, she hears like her mother's voice, like, survive. I can accept that deal. I will accept that deal.
Wonderful. Then if you will, follow me. And the counter just like disappears into the floor, and like you would see immediately these like shelves of faces that look like they maybe went like 30 feet back, like elongate.
Oh god.
And they go so far that you can't even see the end. And this being almost as if they are floating, like they don't move or bob, like they're walking with footsteps, like slowly floats off down one of the aisles and then like turns left. This way.
Yeah, I guess me and the cat will waddle after it with my short little stubby legs.
Yeah, and this person doesn't move like super fast, but they take you, like, it feels like you're going through a maze. They're like left, right, left, forward again. There's like a roundabout circle part of it, and then you go past that, and this like small unassuming shop front contains like a multitude of aisles with a multitude of
hella
faces
extension charms. Holy shit.
And finally, you find yourself in the section that has fae faces. You see that there are faces of gorgeous dryad. I'm having word issues today.
No, you
gorgeous,
valid, you valid.
Wooden dryad faces of different trees. You can see that there's some very like severely elegant like elven faces that have these like seasonal looks to them. Like some have like little bits of snow in their hair or like little flowers. There's some teeny tiny little pixie faces.
Don't want to be that
with, like,
small.
Spikes of colorful hair on them. And you look and look and look. And eventually you find a few fairy faces. You can see that there is one that has pink hair, right?
Yes, thank you, honey.
Pink hair with little pink cat ears, this like cute little like cherubic face with like big eyes. You can see that there is one fairy face that has these like tiger stripes that like run along it, and this like tiger stripe eyeliner with like the little rounded like tiger ears.
Oh, cutie.
And you would see one that has these like very iridescent, like bluish green, almost like feathers, like peacock feathers that are kind of like emerging from like the eyelashes, like little ones, and then like feathers that like run up like sideburns, like along their cheeks, and end in two little points like an owl's ears, and has like these very like colorful, but beady bird eyes. And you see like there's a bunch of other fae faces, like there's red caps, like there's some crazy shit in here.
She's just like bloody, and she's like, no, thank you. Yeah, I think in lieu of hearing the cat zodiac, like it makes sense, like to honor the story, and if she's gonna be under the cat zodiac sign, she picks the cat. She picks the pink-haired little cat fairy.
So you would like the cat face, the cat fairy?
Yeah, the kitty fae would be nice.
She was quite lovely, you know.
Who was she?
Although hi. Thank you. Sorry, I just got a dinner.
No, you good. You're good.
I'm not entirely sure of the specifics, but this individual seemed to have some sort of magical connection to the stars, but she was bearing some kind of burden that she had felt became too great. Running from, I don't know if it was a boss or a friend or a lover, but decided that she was done with that person and wanted a break and wanted a fresh start.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I can give her a fresh start.
She decided to become a mermaid, so I think she's about as as far off from a cat as one could be now. But
Not air to sea, cat to fish. Okay, yeah.
If this is the face that you are set on, we can begin the process. I suppose I should have clarified earlier. It is painful to remove your face. It is going to hurt. But when it's done, you will feel new in a way that you've never felt new before.
I think I can handle pain. I've handled a lot already. What's a little more?
I can see that there's a bit of sorrow in your eyes, but there is strength there too. I think he will be all right. And you look down and you would see that the cat is like just staring like very intently at you. The shopkeep would tell you that like having like an animal with like fur around when you're trying to take off somebody's face magically, they're like, if your friend wouldn't mind waiting outside, respectfully, good sir, you are wonderful, and if you wish to trade your face, we may do that, but I would prefer not to have cat hair in an open wound.
Oh God, yeah, fair point. I didn't even think about that.
The cat just kind of looks up at you and says, "What a curious choice. I think you'll like that face. I will wait for you outside."
Hey.
I'll see you soon, Clover. You
Did
both
she
say,
even-
like, see you soon.
See you soon, and then he says Clover, and she's like, wait, did I even give you my name? I don't think she did.
You did not. You did not give your name to this creature.
Okay. I think like she watches the cat go and is like a little confused, but it's like she feels happy that we both said see you soon, and then it was a Clover, and she was like, wait a second.
Yeah, and when you look at like where the cat is going, it seems like the aisles that you're in have shortened again. And actually, like you're standing basically like right behind the counter, and as the cat walks around it and past, and the door opens up on its own, and the cat goes out, you'd see that like a curtain kind of falls just behind that counter there. And when you turn around, there aren't any shelves around you at all. There's just sort of like a dentist's chair.
Oh God, okay.
Made out of like very plush red leather and like wood. And there's like a variety of like bizarre implements. I'm not even gonna say surgical implements because it's like we're way beyond that with Fey magic. There's just like weird shit happening that like is indescribable and borderline incomprehensible to a mortal mind. Okay. But a very elaborate face-changing magical surgical setup. And it is
cool.
It is excruciatingly painful. Because what happens is like you're not your face is like cut off, but everything that you are is pulled out of your body and put into another body that like as you're basically just turned into this like little wispy like ball of like light. Wow. That is like everything, your mind, your heart, your soul, like your personality, all of that. And you would see as you are like in this little ball that another like little like dentist's chair, I'm just gonna call it the dentist's chair.
Sure, yeah.
Has popped up behind yours, and there is an inanimate body of this little kitty Fey there. And you are put into this like body. And like the face is like blank, but the vendor like goes and takes that face and like puts it on as like the finishing touch, and takes like your face and your like body now has like a blank, it's just like blank there, and that vanishes, and then puts your old face onto like one of the little mannequin heads and says, "Well, our work here is done. Thank you for your patience." And you find yourself in this little kitty Fey body with pink hair and ears, a little cat tail. You have these like pretty little like sparkly pinky purple blue wings, even like a new outfit. This like, I think your dress is purple now.
Yeah.
This like very elaborate like cutesy purple dress that you're in.
Basically the inverse of the art on stream.
Yeah, and it was a very painful process, but you're through it. It was over faster than you expected.
damn girl. And she
I mean,
now
there's like a
remembers
big
and she
mirror.
now remembers that process. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like this is like by far the most painful thing that you have ever experienced, but it was like there was a level of like ecstasy to it at the part where your being was like pulled out of your meat
Right.
suit, like because you were no longer, there was like a moment where you were like no longer constrained by like the bounds of flesh, and you were just
That
like
makes
pure
sense.
existence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you have known that, which is something that most people don't get to know until they die.
Wow.
And like
Holy
the
shit.
vendor would have explained all of this to you in the process. They were like very much like a really good like hairstylist or doctor, where they tell you before they do something. You're like,
right.
hey, is it okay? I'm gonna do this now, like, and I'm doing this because of XYZ.
Love
you still
that.
never saw a face.
Okay.
You never even saw like hands, really. It was just like things were just happening and like being lifted around them by like telekinesis.
Did they have a name if I asked them like what they preferred to be called? Like, cause I'm sure it was a little time consuming. Did they have a name to be called, or were they just nameless?
They would say, you may call me the vendor of faces.
Vendor
faces? Yeah, but you have this new body. It's a little, you're like a baby horse, kind of like having to learn to walk and move again in like this new body. But there's a definite sense of like fresh potential here. Of just like starting something new. And there's like a full-length mirror, a very ornate, like big one that stands like up against the wall there, and you can like twirl and look, and you have like that little tail, and you are new.
I feel like she does, at least at first, does feel like a burst of confidence. Like she walks out like standing taller, although she's not taller. She's probably about the same height. She does feel like she's walking taller.
And the vendor of faces, like when you do like a little twirl before you walk out, says, "My dear, it suits you beautifully. I can't think of anybody else that would wear such a face so well as you do. Thank you for your patronage. And do keep in mind that there is always the possibility that someone may trade for your old face. So if you see yourself walking down the road at some point, don't be alarmed. It's just business."
I guess that's true. Okay.
Hope this helps.
I think it will.
I know it will.
Yeah.
Before you go, could you flutter your wings a bit and think of light?
I will try to do so. I'm not sure how coordinated it is. It's probably a little like
So yeah, it takes you like time to kind of get them coordinated, but eventually you get it and you start thinking of like light, and these like little sparkles begin to fall out of your wings there, and you basically just like cast fairy fire around the room, and all of a sudden like everything in this room, including the vendor of faces, is just beautifully like lit up in pink sparkles.
Aww.
And look at that, you have fey magic as well.
Yeah. Wow. You can just do that?
I'm sure there's limitations to it, but the Fae are magical.
It's really cool.
Very cool.
I have magic.
My dear, you are magic. You just happen to have a sprinkle on top.
just like shakes her like wings as she's like waddling out.
Yeah, the vendor of faces will wish you a fond farewell, and you can see that, like, sitting there very patiently in front of the door waiting, is the little white cat. And it looks up at you with, like, very big eyes, like its pupils are, like, fully, like, dilated.
What do you think? I'll do a little twirl.
You. Oh, I like your tail.
Me too. The wings have magic.
Oh, wow. You chose the cat.
Yeah. I mean, they were always my favorite animal, but after your story, it just seemed appropriate.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks. I feel lighter.
I'm glad. You deserve it. It's
Ooh.
sad to see you. Oh. I don't know what happened. It's sad to see you burdened with difficult things and being targeted by the Fae here, but I think now maybe things will be a little bit easier for you. And well, as far as our deal, I don't need to ask for much. All I did was bring you here, but if you're willing to offer it, I would like to be your friend. That's what I ask.
I would love to be your friend. It's an easy thing to give.
Well, I hope you don't regret saying that down the line, but for now, don't worry yourself with it. Friends we shall be. And he holds out like a little paw.
I will take it. He's
Shakes
so
your paw.
cute.
Now, if you're looking for a way to get out of here, you're going to have to wait until the day that Titania decides that it's low tide and begins like explaining this very elaborate set of conditions that will need to be met for you to be able to find a place to leave, but provides you with instructions on how to eventually get out of the Feywild if you need it.
Okay.
You still deal with some difficulties during your time in the Feywild, and you actually don't ever see the White Cat again. You still hear their voice in your mind on occasion when something is about to go arrive, being like, "Oh, maybe turn left here.
Okay.
They won't find you if you turn left here."
Okay.
And little bits of advice and is like, "Don't give up, keep going." And it becomes more sporadic over time, but they're always there with you in your mind. And eventually you find even more magic that you can do that seems to come from a place that isn't in your wings or in your Fey body, but something else entirely that feels connected to the cat zodiac. And you have that sense without a doubt that you're now that I know this information, this feels very astral, astrological, starry magic. And I think Clover, oh well, it has to be that,
Yeah, I feel like she could probably feel the difference between the wing fairy fire and then the other stuff that comes with it. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Takes her a while, but I think she'll pick up on the flavors.
Yeah. And then you kind of fade off into the blackness of sleep. And
Cool. I got a BRB real quick.
Why don't we go to a quick break because
we're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
BRB
We'll
fam.
give them time to figure it out, and we'll be right back.
BRB. Welcome back.
We're here. We're back from our little break. And we're gonna go right back into it. Ego. Hold on. I gotta change the music a little bit here really quick.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna get the nice.
They're not getting the nice do. You fall asleep, and instead of finding yourself transported to, a dream where you're like a fairy dragon or a pixie, when you begin dreaming, you are immediately running. You are fleeing something. You see yourself in your own witch's hut that you grew up with your mother, except that the scale is vastly different. Because you look up and the cauldron, this big 10-foot diameter cauldron that your mother had in the center of the hut, is absolutely massive. You can't even see the top of it. You are there by maybe a little cabinet or dresser, and you're barely bigger than the foot of it, that is only a couple inches tall, and you are fleeing. You are filled with a deep sense of dread and fear. And you look down and you don't even have little hands. They're these little pink claws, and you have this little white furred pudgy body and this long hairless tail.
I understand.
You hear something crash behind you, and you look as rounding the corner with fully blown out dilated pupils is this white kitten that is completely puffed up, deeply hostile, is hissing and growling, and is actively running at you just push push. What do you do?
I am scampering very, very fast. I am looking for something that's me-sized, like a crack in the floorboards or a hole in the wall, to get into.
Yeah, roll me an investigation, perception check. I'm gonna do a perception check here because you're actively running away, so you kind of are more looking.
7.
Yeah, you are desperately looking, but your little body is moving so fast that you can barely even look around. And at this size, even though this is a hut that you're very familiar with, it's a completely different experience of it. And all of the little spots that you would know, you would probably need a larger body to be able, that one floorboard that is loose that you would hide little cool rocks and stuff in. You can't lift that as a mouse. So you are not able to find anything. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
6.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
So you run, and you're going in circles around this big cauldron, and eventually you try to make a turn somewhere else because you're oh, maybe I can go over here. And the little crack that you were going towards is a little bit too small even for your mousy body. It's a tiny hole that maybe an ant could go through, and in this form you're just not quite sure of your size or where you can fit, so you're trying desperately to squeeze yourself through it, and part of you is going through. Mice can get into very small spaces, but you're not able to move fast enough, and immediately you feel these two big paws land on your body. You don't feel claws sink into you, but immediately you are yanked out and flipped over and pinned down in between this cat's paw, and you're just yeah, you're just a little white mouse laying there pinned under this white kitten that hisses in your face and bares its teeth at you. You're looking up into its purpley blue eyes that have this glint in them like starlight. And the cat speaks to you. I will be direct because I am too weary of secrets and subtlety. And you are a captive audience, if ever there was one. I am angry with you, little witch. But more so than that, I'm disappointed.
Oh, no.
Disappointed that you, indirect as it may have been, allowed my chosen to suffer. I am disappointed that you have not yet offered her the true comfort that only a first childhood friend may offer. Most of all, I am disappointed that one of my own, a child made and not born, daughter of a witch, one of the cat Zodiac, would let down one's own stellar kith and kin.
Ooh.
Cats are not known for mercy, but as you are mine, I cannot truly harm you. So instead I shall ask, do you remember our bargain? Do you still wish to aid my chosen?
Yes, I remember. Yes. Yes, you have a task that you have set out for her, and you asked me to watch over her to ensure that she does it.
And how is she to do that now? Without my power?
She is not powerless. She wanted to help those people. And she succeeded, by the way. Hundreds, maybe thousands of people she saved. That was what she wanted. Am I supposed to say no?
Is it what she wanted, or is it what she felt she was compelled to do to help others before herself? You know, you may think that you know her, but do you really? Do you really know her? Have you really taken the time to understand what motivates her? Do you know her fears? Do you know what her greatest fear is?
Being alone?
Exactly. And even if she had lost you and the rest of your friends, if she still had that power, do you know what she would not have been? Alone.
She didn't lose us.
But if she does, now she no longer has me. There was always going to be someone there for her. She was never truly ever alone. And I was glad to see her make friends, but now this? Should the worst happen, she has no one but herself.
I understand why you're angry and why you're disappointed. I do. But I am not going to apologize for helping her help people. You gave me a task. I have not failed in that task because I am still here. I know that she wants you back. I'll find a way. But she is not powerless, and she never was. Even if she felt that way. Okay, good. Because just because she doesn't have you to help right now doesn't mean that she's powerless now either. I'm sorry that you can't help her more right now, but that means that you need me more than ever.
The cat will, loosen its grip on you and pull its paw back. I have misjudged you. I apologize.
What do you mean I'm one of your own?
Do you think you were born naturally? Do you think you are what you are just out of the womb?
No, I believed that I was born and then I was offered. Or I was... Well, that's what I believed, but then I learned that I was reincarnated?
Not quite.
And no, I admittedly don't know. It's hard to remember your birth.
Forget that mortals are oftentimes, well, living a mortal life is a heavy burden. That you are mine. just as Clover is mine. And it is because of that, not just because of our deal, that you need to help her.
I really am trying to help her. I understand that she puts others before herself in a way that is to her detriment sometimes because of how she feels about herself, because she feels that she needs to do that to have some worth. But there is also a truth that she is very kind. She always was. To me. To everyone that she met. Even before she lost her mother. Because her mother taught her that.
She's very kind. She's unlike most souls that I am charged with.
She's definitely unlike me. Her heart is pure. I would never tarnish that. Not purposefully.
Good. And the cat starts licking itself, which cats will do when they get embarrassed. They'll just start grooming themselves.
I'm rubbing my neck like
You're rubbing your little mousy neck. Well, I'm glad that we both understand what a shining beacon of light Clover is. And I am glad to know that this error will be corrected. But I must say, without my power, Clover may have her own, but you must admit that she is vulnerable. The hags may be defeated, but there are dangers at the Palace of Heart's Desire. You know this? Yes?
Yes. We know that something is waiting for us there and the fight isn't over.
I have every confidence that she will fight fang and claw to get back to you. But know that if she should fall, I will kill you. And I will eat your soul, like a cat eats a mouse.
I understand your conviction, but I don't think that that's probably the best thing to do. I've heard that my soul is very bad.
I'm familiar with your soul. It might kill me to eat it, but at least you would be gone.
I'd be gone?
I don't know. Maybe. I think so.
Well, it's not going to come to that anyway.
I don't want to harm you. And as one of my Zodiac, doing so would kill me. But if she is hurt, I will do everything that I can to see that hurt returned to you all threefold. So please, keep her safe.
I don't take what you say lightly. I don't.
She is my friend. And she has chosen me.
She's my friend too. And admittedly, I've had enough parental figures threatening me in my dreams. I'm going to help her. But if she's vulnerable, like you say, and I can't stop her from trying to help, I won't. If I'm one of the Zodiac, can I give her some power back?
You and I could make a deal and I could lend you my power, but I will not. She was made under my sign and chose me twice over. She is... I will not give my power to another. She's everything.
I'm not asking for your power. I'm offering mine, what little of it I have, if it means that she can get something back.
Do you really think that right now, what Clover needs is the power of sorrow? Because if you were to give her power, that's where it would come from. You may be a promising witch, but you are not a full-fledged hag yet. It is not your place to give that power. The only wellspring you have to pull from is that which lays deep within you. Would you give her the burden of sorrow?
I understand that it is deep within me, but is sorrow really everything that I have to give now?
Of course not. But as it stands right now, for giving power, that is the only thing you have now. It need not be the only thing that you have in the future. But the power of you, ego, is not nearly enough to take a patron. It is that ocean of power that roils within you that you would have to draw from. Perhaps one day you could give her power, but I would hope soon enough she won't need power from you because I will be reunited with her.
Then what happens to me?
Whatever you choose.
I choose to be her friend. She was my first friend.
Then will you tell her that? Yes, she may choose to put herself in danger, despite it being an unwise choice. But will you at least tell her what she means to you? Will you at least let her know what's in your heart? She needs it right now. I'm sure of it. She needs it from all of you, but especially from you. Oh, time out. Why are we time out?
Might be her
Hang on.
audio.
You guys hear me?
Yeah?
Hi.
Hang on. I don't know.
Oh, she can't hear us.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, there we go. Sorry, I don't know if,
Okay.
if stream heard that. Like, my headphones died, so I don't know if it was getting audio through stream. Maybe repeat the last,
Understood.
like, 2 or 3 sentences just in case.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
yeah,
see.
so
Well,
Sorry.
we said, the Cat Zodiac had said,
I said I choose to be her friend.
yeah, okay, yeah.
She was
So
my first
you
friend.
choose, yeah, you choose to be her friend. Clover was your first friend. The Cat Zodiac was like, well, will you tell her that? Because right now she needs to hear that from everybody, but especially from you.
Gotcha. Sorry about that,
Yes.
Pam.
I'll say it and I'll show it. But how do I keep her safe then? What can we do?
Well, it's not really an easy answer to that one, is there? She could train. She could study. I prefer that she didn't make a bargain with something else. But if it's temporary, I suppose I won't complain.
I don't think she would.
Perhaps I will make an inquiry.
To who?
The fool. The one you call Sam?
Sam?
Don't talk about my boyfriend that way.
The fool, obviously.
I could bargain with the fool you call Sam. Perhaps see to it that he can imbue her with a bit of raw fey magic so that she is not completely bereft. Temporarily. He will likely ask something of her, though. It is his way. And I am not in a position to offer much. Even being here projected is costly.
Do what you can. I'll do the rest. As I agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now please go and take care of my girl.
I will.
And the cat bends down and gives you a lick, and you wake
Sandpaper.
up. Yeah, you wake up with slightly irritated skin all up the side of your body, and it's wet. We can go back to happier the more chill music now. Graph, if you could be so kind.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
Could not
Navigated
have
That could have been worse. That could have been worse.
Navigated that.
It was okay.
Have I really never said how much you matter to me?
Regardless of whether or not you said it, it's certainly something that Clover probably needs to hear now. Okay.
I think probably earlier in the game.
I like the way you kill people real good.
I think it was probably when you guys gave up that memory and were in the front, writing it down.
I think so.
Saoirse.
Oh boy.
That's
D6,
me.
D8. It's a D8.
A 7. I rolled a 7. I already rolled it when you mentioned it earlier.
Okay. When you fall asleep, you eventually wake back up, and it's a familiar spot. Saoirse might feel I don't know if Saoirse's gonna feel some type of way about this, but there was a Fey lost dream that you had where you met with some sprites that were doing military drills in this little
Yeah, my buddies.
blade. Yeah, so that little sprite soldier is there hunched up against a mushroom in that little military training glade, and you wake up in a bed of soft green grass, and when you look over you would see that he is there.
Oh, this is perfect. You're the perfect person for me to be seeing right now, actually.
Princess! Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was alone.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Can you get a message to my father?
Your father? Yes.
Yeah. Are you alright? You look a little out of it.
Well, do you remember last time you were here, you made me a general?
Yes.
Being a general's really hard!
Oh, you don't like it?
I don't like what you gave me, thank you, Princess, but it's just really hard being in charge of everyone.
What would you like to do instead?
I always wanted to be a dancer!
Oh, alright. Well, then now you're my official dancer of the Court of Spring.
Jesus Christ.
Be a dancer and a general!
Oh, no, you're not a general anymore. You're
We're
not. If you don't want to be one, you're not one.
You're taking it from me!
What do you want it? Or...
That made my father proud!
Oh dear. Well, you can have whatever you want of those titles.
I can get a message to your father.
Wait, no, but for clarity, do you still want to be general? Because if you do, you are.
I don't know anymore. It's just
Okay.
really hard.
I'm sorry. That's hard. Oh wait, have you been in the castle recently?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Have you seen my mother's sister?
Oh, I think so. I saw her once.
What's she like?
She's scary.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
all-
that's what I figured.
She's all brambles and briars and roses the color of blood.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't like that. All right. Well, but Mom's sort of, briars and thorns is sort of her thing too, right?
Yeah,
When she
sometimes.
gets scary.
Yeah,
Hmm.
They definitely both have that, very... Well, please don't tell her I said this.
No, I won't tell her. I'm
severe
really mad at her right
confidence.
now, so don't worry. I'm not going to tell her anything that you say.
Well, she definitely has the same severe, countenance as, your mother,
When she's
you
mad.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's I've heard that that the queen is sometimes called the wild blackthorn, and she can be very sharp and prickly sometimes.
Yeah.
And I can.
You're really
definitely-
lucky you've never been around for that, because it's really nasty.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna be around it soon because I'm doing terribly as a general. I only ever taught all the soldiers how to dance because I'm not a good fighter. So they're really good dancers now, but that's not what we need. And if she finds out, she's going to take my wings, or worse.
What? Wait, why would we not need dancers?
Well, because there's already a dancing military, and this is the fighting military, and I taught them to dance too. They don't know how to fight anymore.
Oh. Well, but what? We don't need people to fight. Why would we need anyone fighting anyway? We can have 2 dancing militaries.
Well, your mother always likes to... Oh, breathe. Okay. Your mother always likes to have, a little bit of a military, just in case Titania ever...
What if... All right, here's an idea. All right. What if, instead of being the general of the fighting military, you're the general of my private military?
Do I have to fight?
No, you can do whatever it is that you enjoy doing.
Should I recruit people?
Yeah.
To the military of doing whatever we like doing for Princess Saoirse of Spring?
Yes. Do that. That sounds great.
That does sound pretty great. Oh, Princess, you've been so generous to me. And he runs over and throws himself beside next to you and is just bowing and fully touching his forehead to the ground. He's
Saoirse will
worthy.
scoop him up and do the little if you have a little tiny guy that you're trying to hug, so it's basically her hand hugging him against her shoulder.
Yeah, a little. Thank you.
I mean, most people don't really like me or want to have anything to do with me. So you do, and that's great. And so you can have, whatever, you can do whatever you want, and I will support you in that because we're cool.
I mean, you are cursed and it is a little scary, but now that I've talked to you, you're not so bad. You really helped me a lot. I mean, making me general was helpful, but then it was terrible. But then now I get to be the general of Princess Saoirse of Spring's military of doing whatever makes us happy. So that's pretty good. Thank you. You wanted me to do whatever you need me to do, Princess. You want me to go find your father?
Yeah, just give him a message and just tell him that I really, really, really need to talk to him as soon as possible.
Okay.
If he can find a way to make that happen. Tell him I'm in Prismere. And, you know, I'm working really hard. I'm going to figure this whole thing out. But, you know, in the meantime, I really need to talk to him about some stuff.
Okay. You're in Prismere. You really need to talk to him as soon as possible because there's stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, I have questions more than
You
the
have
stuff going on.
questions about the stuff going on, and you're in Prismere, and you need to talk to him right away.
Also, anything you can find out about my mother's sister. So if you find someone who really likes listening into other people's conversations and is really good at it, recruit them for the army and have them listen in on her conversations.
Well, yeah, I think. Yeah, there's this blue jay that I absolutely hate, but he's really good at getting secrets and tricking people. So maybe I'll go see if he wants to stop being bitter enemies and maybe join the army of doing whatever makes us happy, and then he can just be mean to everyone else and steal secrets from them.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. All right. I'll go do that right now. I'll go find your father, and then I'll go find the blue jay.
Yeah, I think order of priority is going to be that. For sure.
Okay.
I do like blue jays. I like all birds, really.
Blue jays are really mean.
Oh, that's true. I'm more partial to finches. Obviously.
There's this robin that I'm friends with. She's a bit, average and plain, but she's really nice. It's just the blue jays are mean. They steal things and they trick people.
Have you ever seen a blue jay and a cardinal get together? They're nasty. They get real mean to each other. It's like
that's not a pairing I would want to.
No, they're real mean to each other.
Yeah, no.
You have to get close to like winter zones, like because
cardinals are usually, very. They're nice. I like listening to their songs. They're a little bit haughty, but
yeah,
they're not like a blue jay.
Right.
Okay. It's good to see you, princess.
It's good to see you too. I mean, honestly, this is perfect. I was I was thinking like, oh, I've got to find someone to talk to my dad, and I had a couple of ideas, but this is the best idea, I think.
Talking to me is a good idea.
Yeah.
Crying again, but it's happy this time.
Oh, good. I like happy.
Oh, thank you, princess. I'll go right now.
Okay.
And he gives you a little hug. He will fly off. And you're in this little glade in spring. There's little snowdrops that are around here, probably some tulips and hyacinths. This is definitely earlier spring area. But you have time
sort
to
of pokes at the snowdrops ugh, winter.
And they're like, ow! Oh, that tickles! Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were talking flowers. There's some that talk and there's some that don't. I'm sorry.
Princess?
Are you how does this work exactly? Because you're sort of a winter thing, but you're here.
Well,
is the winter nearby?
Well, I mean, the winter's always nearby to spring. But here, particularly so, yes. I mean, that's why the military trains over here. Because we're closer to winter, and winter, if they're good at nothing else, it's fighting and killing.
Yeah, no, that checks out. That's really scary. But you're not, you're pretty.
Well, I quite like the winter. I'm good friends with snow,
Are you good friends with any, snowflakes?
I'm friends with all the snowflakes. I know that it's snowdrops that are the reason why snow is white.
Really?
Well, of course, when the snow decided that it needed to be a color, it went to all of the other flowers and asked if it could borrow their hue. And, the roses stuck up their petals at that, and the tulips closed up and said, no, thank you, snow, you are too cold. But I said, well, I'm not very flashy, or very special, and the color white is pretty boring, but if you want to borrow it, you could have it. And so the snow said, thank you, I will. And so now that's why the snow is white. So all of the snowflakes know the snowdrops, of course.
I like that. That's a good story.
And then the Frost Prince said
But
that...
I think you're really pretty and not boring at all.
Oh,
Just
thank
for the record.
you. Thank you. We get to bloom in both seasons because the Frost Prince decided to have mercy on us for being so kind to the snow.
Oh.
So that's why we can grow here. We also grow in spring, in winter.
Can you move between them?
Well, not me. I'm planted right here where I am, but I have cousins that live over there. Yes, they're the great House Snowdrop of winter instead of House Snowdrop of spring.
Okay. So if I wanted, so I'm going to get a snowflake, but if I wanted another one, how would I keep it from melting?
Well, you'd have to keep it cold.
Yeah, but how?
Well, it's usually cold in winter.
I don't want to go to winter. It's not pleasant over there. It's like the wrong kind. It's too cold. And mean.
Well,
And very rude. If the fae that I encountered from there is any indication.
Princess, I will be honest with
really
you.
rude.
I beg of your forgiveness, but I don't know how to make it cold. I just
Okay.
grow.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know if you had like a... If you knew, like, if they had like... maybe I didn't have to do anything. They're just magically always cold and they don't melt. You know? So I figured I'd ask.
I think it would have to be... maybe if a snowflake had been blessed by the Frost Prince, it might not melt.
I don't want to do anything with the Frost Prince.
He spared us from the cold of winter.
Yeah, but he's... I don't... He's scary. I've heard the stories. He's mean and scary. I encountered just a regular, like, winter fae, and he was really rude. I can't imagine the prince is any better.
They can be very severe, yes. They're not really a season for frivolity, that's to be sure.
Yeah.
They're very, but keep in mind, it's because they're very contemplative. Winter is the time for thinking on what change could come in the spring.
Yeah, so they're boring. And mean.
Have you ever seen the way that a field of snow sparkles in the morning light?
No.
I have. It's quite beautiful. Winter's not all that bad. I mean, it's mostly bad, but the end of it's not so bad.
I do like the snowflakes, and I like you.
Thank you. Well, she wouldn't say thank you. She would say, well, I like you as well, of course, princess. Anything for you, princess.
Can I ask you a question, actually?
Whatever you want, princess.
Do the denizens of spring, do they want me to come back?
Oh.
Well, I suppose most don't really have an opinion one way or another. At least when they are speaking in front of your mother's inner circle. But there are plenty of birds and beasts that are very fond of you. And a lot of the dryads really like you too. I think they're probably, if anything, it's a little bit confusing for everyone right now because we're hearing that there will be another era of spring.
Yeah.
And we all want what's best for spring, but, well, there's a reason why we aren't Archfey. You know, we're not really cut out for making big decisions about what's best for spring, I guess.
No, I wasn't asking for you to decide. I was just like, I don't know. I guess if you thought that it was better if someone else took over.
I mean, I find you quite pleasant, although you do have a very strong hate for winter, and I will say as a snowdrop who is 50% winter and 50% spring, I do find it a bit offensive.
Oh, I'm sorry. The place that I'm at right now is kind of winter-esque, and it's really deeply unpleasant for me. It's very cold and it's very wet, and a big wind came and stole all of my things, and I got hit with like electricity, and it's just been really unpleasant. So I've kind of got a sort of, and then that on top of the stories of sort of winter being kind of mean and quiet and boring, and it's just not for me. But I do like you.
The quiet isn't always boring. Sometimes winter is quiet because it's too beautiful for anything to be said, and it's like a bittersweet quiet. You know, it's the joy of looking at something so beautiful, but knowing that it's coming to an end. It's not so bad, but again, I am biased. I am 50% winter and 50% spring, so it might be hard for you to understand someone as complex as I.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because I really don't like quiet. Even because it's never quiet here.
Parts of spring that are kind of.
No, I mean there's places that are like calmer, but there's always something going on.
That's
There's
true.
birds chirping.
There's always bird song. Well,
Or frogs croaking, or
should you ever find yourself in the winter court, well, or I suppose we don't really grow in the hibernal barons court. It's mostly a burrow there, but if you should find yourself in the other winter court, because there are two, we would be like.
Let's hope not.
Be sure to say that you met Snowdrop of House Snowdrop of Spring to my cousins, Snowdrops of House Snowdrops of Winter.
I will. Yeah. I mean that's not going to happen because I really don't want to go there. It sounds terrible to me, but if for some terrible reason I did have to go there, I will definitely say hello to your cousins. And tell them how beautiful I think they are.
I appreciate it. Your splendiferous princessness. Princess. Yeah, and I mean, the Snowdrop will sit there and talk to you all you want. Is there anything else you want to do? Just like hang out and enjoy? Like it's
I think
spring in here.
Yeah, I think Saoirse's just enjoying not being in any place unpleasant for a while.
Yeah,
like, yay, I'm home.
You can lay back in like the really like soft plush grass and like look up at the tree branches with all their like fresh, like new, like that bright green color of leaf, that it's like a brand new leaf. And you can feel like as the sunlight dapples your skin, passing through like the branches of the trees as they like slowly undulate, almost like waves in the water. You can feel that like little bit of like warmth from the spring sun, and you feel very at home. And then eventually you will wake up, perhaps feeling quite refreshed from being in spring. Okay, Aurum did not eat the compass, correct? Okay.
No compass.
That's good. So in that case, Aurum, you have a pretty like peaceful sleep. You wake up well rested, feeling really good. Dawn, let's see. I don't know, why is it... Okay, am I the only one that's seeing this recording?
I see it too. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been like that for a minute. It's been a while.
I don't know what's happening. Graph, there's like some kind of weird thing over your camera that says recording
paused. You might need to like turn it up. Never mind.
Aha! There you are. Hello.
There you go.
You fall asleep and find yourself in a dream. You're at a funeral.
Oh, man.
You know, because you've been to them before, everybody's wearing black, but as you look around at like all the different faces, you realize like you don't recognize anybody, and really they're just like blurs. It's almost like you are moving in slow motion while everyone around at this funeral is moving like a lot faster. and you can see that like they're going through the motions of like throwing like little flowers onto this like casket and stuff and like lowering it into the ground, and very rapidly like it's covered with dirt, and like a headstone is placed in, and like all of the chairs that were set up there are all gone except for the one that you've been sitting in, because in a blink of an eye all of this time passes. And you then find yourself sitting in front of a freshly dug grave. What would you like to do? You're like kind of like, as far as like other scenery goes, it's sort of just like a forest, just an old forest, and there's no other graves here.
Good question. He's probably getting a little frustrated since all of the dreams that he's been getting so far since he's gotten the like ability to dream have kind of stunk. So he's like, he's just like
this sucks.
He's just like staring down at the graveyard, at like the grave, and he's like, this stinks.
Yeah, you stare down at the grave, and like it takes us a minute for your eyes to focus, but you can see that this like headstone that's there was previously like unmarked, but as you look at it, you can see that the stone begins etching itself, and it says, "Here lies Skabatha Nightshade."
Oh. You know, maybe don't judge a book by its cover.
As you continue to look at it, you see that like all of a sudden something begins emerging from behind it, and you are looking at your doll child self.
Yeah.
And it's like the doll is looking up at you shyly, and like kind of like doing that thing where kids, like if they want to ask something but they don't want to ask, they're like rubbing, it's like fidgeting and like kind of like just moving, and it's like staring up at you.
Yeah, he will like hold a hand out and he'll say, I know it doesn't entirely make up for all of the time lost, but I hope it's a start at least.
The little doll child you will hold out a hand. Can we dance?
Sure. It's been a while since I've enjoyed a dance.
You look like you need it. I bet you're really clumsy on your hooves right now.
Okay, kid, look.
I'm really good at dancing. Look what I can do. And just starts to like random like crazy movements of like a little like a 4-year-old kid that just like doesn't know how to dance.
Yeah, you sure do look like you're having a seizure.
I'm having fun. Maybe you should try it. Don't you want to dance on her grave?
He like looked down at the grave. And he'll probably just start an awkward shimmy.
Just like doing the cha-cha slide on her grave. Yep. Just yeah, and you know, as you dance, like a lot of, I think like a lot of light starts to pour in from like the boughs of the trees, and it's almost as if you're like here illuminated in a spotlight for like a tango competition, except it's not tango, it's not well choreographed. It's just you doing an awkward little shimmy and a little kid flailing on Skabatha Nightshade's grave. But as you do, you have a profound sense of being free of the person who tormented your child self, being free of the person who robbed you of your innocence and stole your childhood from you. And for the first time, since, you know, you were reunited with your lost thing, and before that, since you had lost it, but really for the first time in any of these dreams that you've had, you feel something begin to grow or form, like little vines of some sort of like weed that are reaching out for the sun and tangling with each other, or roots of a dandelion with a taproot that runs deep in the ground, and even if it is cut flower and stalk and leaves and stem, there's still that root underneath that grows and reaches out and eventually will send up another shoot towards the sun. And I think for the first time, you feel a connection to your child self that, even though you were made whole, wasn't quite there yet. It's not fully forged, but something has begun to grow.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
So yeah, you guys cut up on a grave. The dirt is like churned underneath your hooves, and you just like leave it completely trampled and flattened. And yeah, you have a great time. Like your yarding comes out at some point. Child you also takes out like a tiny yarding, and y'all are just like duetting on your yardings. And you have a great time. And then you wake up. Yeah, so everybody gets the benefit of a long rest. Clover. When you wake up, there is like the feeling of knowing that someone's watching you. Like you wake up and immediately have that sense.
I will sit up and look around. Anyone in my room?
Yeah, Sam is sitting on the foot of your bed and is just like watching you. I really needed to go for a little while, but that cat is very persistent.
My cat?
Your cat, yes. I'm terribly sorry to hear that you lost your magic, Clover.
It's okay.
Well, it's not really okay, is it? It's kind of a bummer.
People were saved. I'm okay.
Doesn't make it hurt less.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're allowed to be selfish, right?
What do you mean?
Well, it wouldn't kill you to choose yourself sometimes.
But they needed help.
Sure. You also could have looked for another way. Not saying that what you did was wrong. In fact, it was very right, very noble of you. And I am not saying that you needed to make a different choice, but just consider that you are allowed to be selfish. Being selfish isn't going to make everyone leave you. In fact, it was an act of selflessness that caused your friend to be ripped away from you.
I think her ears flatten at that, as if she hadn't considered that.
Well, I'm not here to be a burden, and in fact, I'm here to ease yours, temporarily. I have been contacted by your former patron, who's let me know of your terrible plight, and has expressed a deep concern for your safety, especially going into the Palace of Heart's Desire, and attempting to free Zybilna. So I've decided to be very generous and make an offer.
An offer? What do you mean?
To give you magic. You have this sort of hole in you right now that I would love to fill with. It's not a literal hole, but there's a magical hole in you that I would love to fill with my bursting fey magic for a little while.
Oh,
Sam never
oh,
changed.
Sam. Oh.
Just until you're able to get back to your patron. Perhaps Zybilna could grant a wish for you to see reunited. To get out there. But temporarily, I could give you something that I think is a lot better than what your patron had to offer, if I do say so myself.
Oh my God. So my patron asked you?
Well, your patron practically coerced me into being here and doing this for you.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever they want.
You remember what I said about 2 minutes ago? About being selfish?
Yeah.
It's not about what he wants, it's about what you want. I have boundless magic to offer. It's very volatile, but I would be happy to fill your hole with it.
Clover's not laughing, Kristy's losing it.
Sam's laughing when he says that.
I know.
He's like,
I feel like Clover does like blush a little bit. She's been around this group and this man long enough that she's picking up on certain subtle, not so subtle cues. Okay, so what are you offering then?
it wouldn't be the same type of magic that you had with your patron. I already have plenty of warlocks, and frankly, I need my warlocks to be a little bit more selfish. As wonderful as you are, it would instead be sort of like I'm putting a bit of myself in your blood. So that it's just like your whole being that is magical. That one would be very hard to get rid of outside of the terms of our bargain. But it would become a part of you. You'd have a little part of the Feywild in you.
And I'd have different magic? What type of magic? Like, if it's not
You
like
have
mine.
magic. There's a lot of different kinds. It can be very explosive.
Oh.
But it can also do a lot of other things. And it's the kind of magic that you can sort of like, because it would be part of your blood, you can shape it. That's the thing with the type of magic that you had was very constricted to what your patron had to offer from what he is. And the type of magic that, say, Ego uses, although not as rigid as wizardry, is still bound to Ego's own intellectual understanding of magic.
Right. Yeah.
This would be something that you could shape because it would be coming of you. Because I would be inside of you a little bit.
I was gonna say that sounds nice until you said that.
You don't want... I'm offended.
I mean,
Perhaps I shouldn't have come here at all.
No, it's not. Well, does that mean you can read my thoughts if you're inside me?
No. I can only read your thoughts if I choose to do that, or if you let me.
Oh, okay.
But I find that I don't really even need to read your thoughts. I can kind of just see them on your face.
Can?
I'm very good at reading people, Clover.
Okay.
And you're very charming, but you're also... You think that you're not an open book, but... I think you're very easy to read. But that might just be me. So all that I would ask is that you choose what you want. Certainly your former patron would want you to choose this. He was, after all, the one that practically forced me to come here. But I'm not going to give it to you if you don't want it. For you, not because someone else wants you to have it, but for you. What do you want?
I want to protect my friends. And I want to protect myself so they don't have to.
And do you think having magic would help you with that?
Yeah, kinda.
Have you ever drank blood before?
She like sits back against the headboard into her pillows like, No? Like a vampire?
Not quite like a vampire, more of like imbuing yourself with blood. You know how Aurum ate that hair?
Uh-huh.
Well, so hair is very magical, but the way that Aurum went about it was sort of like brute forcing an incredibly delicate process, and as such he got very explosive power for a very short time. This is the more delicate way of going about it because it requires consent from both parties, and then I have to give you Fey blood, which is something that is not so easily shed. And then you would drink it, but this would help sustain you for longer, magically speaking, and it would put a bit of my magic into you. And it would be, my blood would mix with your blood. That's sort of how I would be inside of you. But not like me, just my blood.
Okay, yeah, that strangely makes sense. What do you want in return?
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked. Very little. I need you to go to the summer court, if you don't mind. Eventually, not right now.
Oh boy. Okay. Where in the summer court specifically, though? The capital?
Well, you could really go like wherever you wanted for a while. And I have to find. Hold on. Goddamn. Hold on, sorry.
I traded my
You
face
could
and I'm
go
gonna go back there without the face I traded for. God damn it.
So you could go anywhere in the Emerald Wood, that is Titania's domain, is the Emerald Wood. But more specifically, eventually I would need you to go to her palace, Senelise, and just deliver her a small parcel. But you may not look at what's inside of the parcel, nor may your friends. It must stay fully sealed and unopened, to be opened only by Titania herself.
Is it dangerous?
No,
Like, is
not
it
at all.
poison if I touch it?
If you open it, it will probably kill all of you, but that's why you won't open it, because I've asked you not to. That's part of the deal.
Okay, is that gonna kill her, though?
No. It'll
Okay.
probably make her laugh.
Oh, that's nice. So I deliver a package in the summer court to Titania, Queen Titania, and you give me your blood?
Yes, I'll give you my blood and thus a bit of my magic for you to use for as long as you want until you can get your patron's magic back, which if you don't want to, you don't have to take him back. And then eventually when you find yourself near the Emerald Wood, just make a quick stop to Senelise. Titania loves holding court with mortals. She loves to show off all of that, the splendor and the glitz and the glamour. And despite as scary as she may seem, most of the time she's fine. A little bit, annoying, a little bit full of herself. But I've performed as a jester in her court many a time. It's not so bad. Stay, eat, drink. She would love to host you, I'm sure. And just deliver a quick package to her. You don't even need to give it to her directly. You could give it to her footman. They'll deliver it to her. See, it's even addressed from me. And he pulls out this tiny little parcel, and it's just very simply wrapped leaves, sort of like the lembas bread that they get at in the Northern Ridge, where it's all wrapped in those, but it's just a tiny little parcel that's just wrapped up in leaves and tied with a bit of string. See, on the little tag here, love, Sam.
Okay.
But you cannot open it. You cannot use magic on it to try to figure out what's inside of it. You need to just leave it well enough alone, you and all of your friends and everyone that you meet. The contents of this package are for nobody's eyes but Titania herself. Tanya, both ways, it doesn't really matter. But Just deliver it to her.
And she won't be mad at me
No.
because I'm helping Saoirse?
No, not at all. In fact, I think Titania would love to meet Saoirse. I'm like really tripping over words tonight. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
She placed a curse on the firstborn child of the Queen of Spring, but not on Saoirse herself directly. It just happened to be that Saoirse was the one that was born first.
I guess
So-
that's true, yeah.
If anything, I think Titania would quite like to meet Saoirse.
And there's no...
It'd be interesting. And when you've lived as long as someone like her has, it can be hard to find new interests and things that are, shiny and different and unencountered.
Might be hard to convince some of them to go. I might need to go by myself. I don't think they like the
right.
summer court.
Yes, you see, when they were at the when they were at my rebirthday party for my friend, they may have fallen under a gesh that makes one rather loathsome of the summer court. It was just as likely that they would feel so negatively about the gloaming court. It just happened that that's what afflicted them.
Okay.
Dispel magic would do the trick.
Really?
Or a restoration spell. It would have to be of greater power. Same with the dispelling. It would have to be like a little bit more powerful, but you could, try to remove it. It's probably been hard to see because my magic is very subtle at times. Usually not, but sometimes it is, and that.
But
game's
if I
very
have
subtle.
your blood and magic, I could see it easier, maybe?
Maybe. You won't be able to have your magical vision all the time like you did with your patron.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Can I ask one question before?
Ask away.
Are him and Luna okay?
Define okay.
I don't know. Are they mad at me?
No. Quite the opposite. Luna misses you terribly.
Are they hurt?
No. Emotionally, but not by you. Just by the situation, rather. You see, Luna had been on her way to deliver those 3 pieces that you gathered and turned them into a key so that the prison beyond the stars and space that your patron is kept in could be opened for him to come out. And unfortunately, without you connected to him, he is not able to actually pass through. So the door is open, he cannot leave.
Oh. Okay. So he got the key, he just can't get out? Is there no other way to get him out?
Well, he could go and take another warlock. But it was very, very clear that it needed to be you. He didn't want to just give that power to anyone else. He said, Clover is of the cat zodiac and she chose me again and again, and so it must be her. Cat thrice over is a cat forever, apparently. I always thought they had 9 lives, but what do I know?
I'll take your deal, Sam.
Wonderful! And he spits into his hand.
Do I have to do that?
You certainly do. Let me shake it. Let's go find the others. I will need Dawn's blade for this. Or Aurum's claws. Well, maybe his antlers would be better. Yes, we'll go with the antlers.
I'm gonna put the package in my bag, and I'm not gonna bring it up unless Sam does. I am not telling the party I have this thing.
I am lying from day one. I am not telling anybody about this thing.
So. Oh wait. What did you say, Jamie?
I'm a lion.
Oh, you are a lion. Oh, I'm a lion too now. Hey.
Aurum, as you're like waking up from a very like peaceful slumber, you hear like a insistent banging on your door. Sweet lion, dear lion, I require your antlers. I came back early just for you. That's not true. Come out. It's your lovely Sam.
I'm gonna take my time going to the door, but I will go to the door.
Oh, please don't make me wait any longer.
I'll open the door very slowly.
He's there, like, leaned up against the frame, like...
I'll close the door.
No, and he sticks his hoof in. No!
You see Clover poke up behind him.
I'll open the door.
May we come in?
I guess. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to come in.
Well, I didn't want to be rude. I mean, I could have barged in, but...
Alright. I come in, I guess.
Thanks, Aurum.
Alright, Clover, I think we should you should maybe... how do we want to do this? Alright. You sit in this chair, and I'll sit in this chair.
Okay.
Aurum, could you get on your knees? I need your antlers.
We're not that kind of friends, Sam.
What do you mean? I need to use your antler.
Why do I have to get on my knees for you to use my antlers?
You're very tall, and I'm going to be sitting in a chair here with my dear friend Clover.
I'm gonna sit down crisscross applesauce.
Yes, that's fine. Or bend over if you like. Do whatever. I just need your antlers at our head height.
Okay.
Hold still, and you feel him like grip one of your antlers at the base, and he like breaks off one of the tines off of the end.
Ow! Why?
Oh, well, I need to give some of my blood to Clover so that she can have some of my magic for a little while. Actually, I just realized if you drink it, you're not Dawn! And he goes and he starts just banging on doors. My dearest Adonis, my love, my paladin, follower of the way of light, where are you? And it's just like knocking on doors.
You're muted, honey.
The door opens and he's like in his pajamas and he's like, I thought you were going to go return everyone their lost things. Why are you here?
I need you to put the tip of your sword in me. Or in Clover.
Does he not know how to like ask people to do things in a non-innuendo way?
No, it's impossible.
He chooses not to.
Impossible.
Wait, did you just say he was returning lost things?
I have not known you nearly long enough to be putting any sword tips anywhere.
Have you known me long?
All right. Then I need you to come and make a little. I need you to come and make a little cut about this big on Clover's palm with your sword, the blooming blade, please.
Why?
Because I'm going to give her some of my magic.
Oh. How did you know that she... You know, I don't care. Give me a second. And he'll will go and like smooth back his hair and like wash his face.
You know, it's a very riveting tale. I was minding my business in the betwixt, and then suddenly the sky opened up with stars and darkness, and a giant white cat descended and pinned me like I was some little bird or something, and demanded, begged, pleaded that I aid sweet little Clover. So that's how I knew, because her patron told me. It was very desperate. You didn't have to wash your face for that long, Dawn.
Every
It's
time
5 seconds.
Yeah, every time you bother me, I extend it for another 10 seconds.
Do you
Oh,
still need me here to watch this, or?
well, you don't have to watch, but I mean, I would like to have you here so you could perhaps learn a bit of magic.
Alright, I'm ready.
Alright.
We might
Phil,
just gotta get the whole group together, and he'll knock on Ego and Saoirse's doors if they would, and invites them to come and witness a ritual to help give Clover some magic. He basically would say to you, "I'm going to put myself in a hole in Clover, and I would like you to watch."
Before he's even like gotten his full innuendo out, Ego is like, so they spoke to you. Thank God you're fast. Wouldn't say thank God.
I'm only fast when I need to be. I can be slow when needed as well. Ego,
I
just
thought
to
you
be
were
clear.
gone. I thought you were going to be gone for a while. It's only been like a night.
I was trying
know
to be
I'm
gone for a
complaining.
while. Oh, thank you, Saoirse. I was trying to be gone for a while, but Sergeant Cat was deeply persistent that I come and aid Clover right away with a bit of magic. So here I am because I'm a generous and kind and loving satyr. So
If
Am I
you're
just like-
in the spring court and you come
Mhm.
across a dragonfly general who says he's the general of Saoirse's army, that is true. Just so you know. And if he needs help, help him.
all right. Now come and watch me put some magic into Clover's hole.
Damn it.
what does that mean?
Clover has a hole, a space where all of her magic was, but is no longer, and I'm going to fill it.
So gross.
All right.
I bet you never thought that Fae could do blood magic, but we can, and here we are. So, Aurum, take this, and he hands you like the little tine that he like broke off of your antlers. This will grow back, don't worry, eventually. Maybe.
I'll take it.
Okay. So, what I need you to do, Aurum, is just stab me.
I stab him. I stab him
No
so hard.
hesitation, no questions.
Abdomen.
Oh my god.
He was like in the process of like holding out his hand as he was saying like, "I need you to stab me," and he was gonna say like, "In my hand," he just, "Oh, God, this." Oh, you were inside of me for a moment, but it hurt. All right.
Don has like the smallest, like his face is like normally deadpan, but if you look really close, like the edge, the very tip
Little-
of his mouth is upturned into a smile watching him get stabbed.
Oh, I was going to say stab me in my hand. All right, Dawn, I need you to make a little cut on Clover's palm.
That was
And
super metal.
oh God! Did you leave it in there, or did
You didn't
take
tell
it
me to
out?
take it out. I just stabbed you.
You're still inside of me.
You're still
Oh God! I rip it out. I rip it out.
Yeah, and when you do, there's like this gush of like wind that hits all of you and like makes you stagger back, and it smells of like fresh cut grass. And you hear like very like vibrant fiddle music. And at first you would see like nothing comes out. And then eventually like a bunch of like yellow dandelion petals, so before they like blow out into the little puff ball, like all those tiny thin yellow petals just begin pouring out of him. And it's like making a slight musical tone as it pours out, like the petals all rustling against each other, makes this like sort of, it just like makes music.
Sam is the best pinata.
Alright. Okay, Dawn, take the blooming blade and please make a small cut, this big on Clover's palm.
Alright, yeah, I'll do it.
Just the tip, Dawn, just the tip.
Sorry, Clover. This is
okay.
probably gonna hurt a little bit.
It's okay.
And he'll make the cut.
The blade feels warm against your palm, Clover, and it does like sting as it cuts into you. and you can see that like the blood begins to like well up and like pour down your wrist. And he's like, "All right, Clover, you just have to put your open wound on my open wound. It's very sanitary. There's nothing wrong or bad about this."
Okay. Yeah, she approaches
And he, like-
and will press on his open wound.
He has like taken his shirt off because he like
course.
got stabbed through his vest, so he's just like topless now. And yeah, everyone roll me a perception check.
Oh
Really
boy.
Oh
Okay.
boy, I'm not good at that.
Oh,
I don't want to
no.
detect if Sam gets chub from this,
No,
Victoria.
no, it's not that.
Sorry, was that too much for our stream? I apologize.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I do not want to perceive if he's bricked up right now.
18. Clover.
I don't think he likes getting stabbed.
Ooh,
17.
19.
Ooh, we're all rolling pretty well.
15.
A natural 20 for a total of 24.
Woo!
Okay, so
No, I'm sorry. Perception 27.
okay, so
Oh my fuck.
Saoirse and Dawn are the only ones that would notice this. But like satyrs have like a very like human-like upper torso. It's just like got a lot of hair on it. And Dawn and Saoirse, like you two are the only ones that are like perceptive enough in this moment and more like locked into Sam versus like the event that's happening here to see that like his torso is covered in these very, very faint, barely noticeable scars like all over his body, and you can see that there are like a little, you kind of catch like the top of like some deep scarring on his back. And he will take Clover's hand and like push it to his wound in his abdomen. And Clover, you have this sense of extreme euphoria and like joy, and your ears begin to ring, and you are unable to hear anything that your friends are saying for a moment as everything within you, in your bloodstream, every part of you is just filled with music. And you feel this like, it's like goosebumps, like just traveling all along your skin, coursing through every single cell of you. There's just this like very deep and pure, concentrated magic of song and life. Very different, like whereas your patron, it was like this like hug from the darkness, and even like this knowing that you're not alone because the stars are always there to guide you, and there's kind of like there's like a little bit of a loneliness in that. And this is like the opposite. This is like you have never been more sure that you are alive and that you are deeply grateful for it. And the feeling just as quickly fades. And you feel your palms stinging, and you look at it and it's just covered in like dandelion little yellow petals, and you watch as the petals that are stuck in your blood on your palm like swoop, swoop, and slide into the wound. And then like the last ones go in and the wound begins to close up.
That was a lot.
You all right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I knew you'd be fine. And he like puts on his vest and like starts buttoning it up.
Can I tell what kind of scar, like what kind of, how he got these scars? Are they like claw marks? Are they like blade marks? Are they like
With a
burn
natural
marks?
20, it's a lot of different kinds of scarring. I think the kind that you're seeing like the most of, okay, so the kind that you're seeing on the back that are like almost like welts, like I think with a natural 20 you would know those are from a whip, like he's been scourged. But there's a mix of like claw marks, blades, like rips, like all different kinds of scarring. It's not necessarily any one thing, but like the bigger, deeper marks that were on his back that I think Saoirse honestly might have been the only one to see the like raised scars that were like on his shoulders and things, like running down like from his arms. Like those ones like on the back were definitely from a whip.
Mm.
Do I know of anyone who uses a whip in the Feywild?
Roll a history check.
Boy.
Because that doesn't seem like a very
Give
common...
us Sam lore.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, blade singers.
I mean,
Blade
yeah.
singers do.
History? Let's see. That is 13 minus 1, so 12. I don't study.
Yeah, and you like a lot of it, like spraying. It's like, you know, people like using like
do-
claws
yeah.
and teeth, or like, you know, the occasional sword. Your mother uses a hammer. It's also her smithing hammer because she is a smith.
Yeah.
I think your father like uses like a super thin like rapier. So you're honestly like not sure, and you're not familiar enough, like intimate, like other courts. Like you've never been to like a courtly gathering, so you don't really
Right.
know what other courts are like doing.
Yeah, but just from
Definitely not
vibes, there's
spring.
not any court that I'm like, oh, that court definitely has people with whips. Like that, none of that.
No. A
rings
whip is
true, so.
whips are like a distinctly like mortal, like that was a weapon that mortals made to hurt each other, and also to like control animals, like with the noise. Like that's not something that ever came out of the Feywild.
Right. Interesting.
Well, there you are, Clover. You'll have that until such time as you're ready to be rid of it.
Thank you, Sam.
You're quite welcome. Now, if that's all, I have business to attend to.
Yeah.
Okay. He pats you on the head. And he does like a quick like spin on his hooves and disappears into like a swirl of dandelion seeds on the wind and is gone. You can now be a wild magic sorcerer. And the group of you are all together. What would you like to do?
Oh boy.
Yo, mama.
Clover, how are you feeling?
Different? Different. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're ready for what comes next?
I have to be. So I'm going to be.
If you weren't, it's okay, but
You freeze?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Nor! Oh
Oh,
my god, you
no!
cut out! Everything that you just
That's
said
okay.
cut out.
I said, that's okay, I still got it. It's okay if you weren't, but there is no part of this journey that you've had to do alone.
I know.
But do you know that I'd go with you wherever you needed to?
Really?
Yeah. I spent a lot of time alone.
Me too.
I thought I
No.
liked it. I prefer solitude,
Yeah.
but Clover, you were the first friend that I ever had.
You were
Before
mine too.
everything.
Mine too. I mean,
Okay.
if you don't count my mom.
I don't count mine.
That's fair.
Until you get your magic back, mine is yours. Not because you can take my spell slots, but because I'm going to use it to protect you and help you. I don't want to just become more powerful for me anymore.
And I think I don't want to be powerful for other people. Just other people anymore. I think I need to do it for me too, so I'm not a burden. And I don't feel like a burden.
You've never been a burden to me.
I believe you.
Good. I'm glad. Because we've got probably one more big fight ahead of us. Whatever's waiting at the castle.
There is one thing I would like to do for you, though. And it is kind of a selfish thing. I was told to be more selfish. It technically helps you, but I'm being selfish, I
advice.
promise.
I was going
You
to
should
say, you
definitely be
prefaced
more
it by
selfish.
saying you're doing it for
I
me,
know,
and then
but-
you're saying it's selfish, so like I'm getting mixed signals.
Do you trust me?
Of course.
I'm gonna hold out my hand and see if you take it.
Yeah, we do that all the time. I'll take your hand.
I'm gonna cast a spell magic on Ego.
Okay, what level
I'm gonna
are you casting
try.
it on?
It's a 3rd level, right?
By default, yeah.
Yeah, I just cast it at 3rd level. I could go 4th, but I don't think she wants to like press her luck right now. She wants to go basic. Like I think she's going instinctual. If I can do this, I want to know like the instinctual feeling of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of his disdain of the summer court, so he's more willing to go with me.
Yeah. So
I still don't know that I have that.
No, you don't.
You're gonna need to roll a check for that because it's higher than 4th level. So it's going to be a D20 plus your spellcasting ability modifier, which should be the same. Warlock
Should be the
to
same.
sorcerer.
Yeah, it's the same.
Um.
Okay. Come on, girly. Oh my god, is that what I... Oh my god. So that's a natural 17 plus 5.
That'll do it. The DC was 15. So
I do have to roll on the table, though,
of my own
honey.
free will.
yeah,
I
you
d-
do.
I have to roll
Well,
on the...
because you have to roll. You rolled a 1 on the thing.
Don't I just have to roll after I roll a 1st level spell or higher? Don't I have to just automatically
You
roll?
have to roll to see if you do wild magic.
What do I roll?
So let me.
I just assumed it was after I cast a spell.
Yeah, it's been so long since I read the actual wild magic rules.
So yeah, whenever you cast a spell,
If I roll a 1, I see. Okay.
1st level or higher, you have to roll a d20 like separately from anything you needed to roll
Gotcha.
for the spell. And if you
Okay,
roll
nothing
a 1 on that
happens.
d20, then you wild magic surge.
Nothing
Um,
happens.
Yeah,
'cause
so-
there's like a thing that you can recharge, but in exchange, like it can surge, and yeah, you've got. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think Clover's magic looks like here? Would you like me to tell you?
I guess if it's Sam's. Tell me if I'm like reading this wrong. Because she was like, she heard the music and like she heard nothing else but music. I feel like it's like a vibrational hum.
Yeah. It could be like a little hum that just like clears out, like almost giving Ego a sound bath.
Yeah, kind of like, you know how cats' purrs are like healing? But it's on a
Yeah.
different register than it's ever been
You're hitting
because
that
it's like more
frequency.
musical, like it's almost like harmonious in the way that Sam's music is. It's a different
Yeah,
type of purr that you've probably never heard her do.
Yeah, you can like unleash this like harmonious like healing frequency on to Ego. And Ego, you don't feel super different. Like the magic definitely happened, but like you kind of feel like yourself. For Ink the player's knowledge, your Gesh making you disdain the summer court is now gone.
I'll work on Dawn in a bit, but for starters, we'll start here. I'm still testing my magic.
Totally still trusting you and everything, but what was that about?
You had. Well, both of you have had something that was compelling you to not like the summer court.
I mean, besides the fact that Titania sounds like kind of a big bee.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with that.
Dawn, how do you feel about the summer court?
I think they kind of stink, to be honest.
That kind of just sounds like Dawn.
I
Yeah,
mean, you're not wrong.
you're not wrong.
But there's good
Oh,
things
wait.
about the summer court as well.
Wait, no,
Sam-
but I said
You
mean things about Talavar.
You
and I
did, you
like
did.
That guy.
That's why I knew something was wrong, and then Sam confirmed it. Because you
I thought
really
it was
liked
kind of
him.
annoying.
Hold on, wait, Sam, did you curse me?
Oh, he's
Sam's not
gone.
He's gone.
Oh, that's right, he is gone. Well, Sam,
here.
out
Honestly,
there in the ether, did you
Did
curse
Sam
me?
admit he did it, or was it just something that happened at...
Dawn's ear really loudly, Sam will hear you.
I
What were you
thought
asking,
Talavar was
Christine?
kind of annoying.
I'm trying to remember, how did that happen? Was it like Sam deliberately doing it, or was it something that just was
I
happening in the
believe it was-
gloaming
I
court?
believe it was from like the like food or drink that they had.
Yeah.
We had
It was
drinks at
food.
the bar.
Oh, you had your drinks, and it was like a random
Yeah.
effect. Yeah.
That's where I also got dog feet for a bit, where it wasn't the feet of dogs, my feet were dogs.
Yeah.
God. That was the funniest shit.
Honestly, sounds like a great party.
I'm trying to find. I found the page that was from. I have to.
Wait, Aurum was at that party too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Mhm.
He was. That's where he got his thing.
I didn't eat that because it didn't sound good. I remember
Yeah.
it. It was
okay.
like a tart or something.
Yeah.
Where was it?
It was something of air and darkness or something.
Oh, yeah. It was named
yeah.
after that. Yeah.
You guys ate the courgette of air and darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
It's a spiced zucchini cooked into a blackened, topped with crushed locust wings. And a
That's
dark
why he
purple sauce
didn't eat
that
it.
tastes
Yeah.
like loneliness and regret.
And that's why Ego ate it.
You know, if you had succeeded on that, you could have gotten a one-time free steel wind strike, but nobody succeeded on that.
Oof.
I mean, I
But
don't
yeah,
like
Clover
Titania
explains.
either, so
I mean, I
Well-
don't have a problem with her. I've never met her. But, there's good and bad in all the courts. Except the winter court, it's all bad. Except for snowflakes.
Sam kind of implied that the curse wasn't like personal, because she never met Saoirse.
Hmm?
It was towards her mother.
yeah, but I feel
Oh,
like
right.
that's just like inherently against what the rules are made for. Like,
Oh, no. Curse in the Firstborn is a pretty standard curse, actually, here.
but hear me out.
That's pretty normal.
Hear me out. That's such an easy way out. Like, you don't have anything bad happen to you. You have something bad happen to something that you don't really know all that much about, right? And then nothing happens to you, so you get away with whatever you want.
That's why hags really like to ask for firstborn or children in general, because it's a way to offset punishment. You feel like you get all the benefit and you don't really have
Right.
to.
My parents didn't choose this. They didn't choose this curse.
I'm
They-
saying it's a nasty thing to do in general. I'm not saying it's your parents' fault or anything.
Oh,
Well,
I was-
yeah, if you're cursing them, it's generally not because you're friends with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what they
Yeah.
did, but they made her very angry, and so she cursed them. And, the firstborn is sort of a pretty normal curse here.
I mean, you're kind of going in like the backwards way. It feels like you're having to learn about all the things about your dad.
Huh? What do you mean? I'm confused.
Well, like you're learning about all the deals that your dad made, but it's not necessarily that you're having to deal with it. He already dealt with it.
Yeah, but he took that on himself. That's the thing. Like,
That's why I'm saying it's kind of like a backwards thing.
but it doesn't make sense to me that
Well, but
they can
cursing
make a
means
deal
all the
for a
fact that
baby that doesn't have the option or choice to do that.
They
Because
didn't
without
make a
them, they
deal.
wouldn't have the baby.
My parents didn't make a deal.
What happened to Saoirse is a punishment.
Yeah.
But what
They-
gives her the power to make punishments like that?
Well, she's the
Being-
queen of the summer
She's
court.
an arch.
Queen of the
Yeah,
summer
she's
court.
Titania.
That's silly. These
silly.
courts,
That's silly.
Okay.
these
All right, I
courts,
think we're
they
going
need
down
some
a
sort of
dangerous way
control.
of talking now,
They
okay.
need some sort of like counterbalance. It doesn't make sense that she can be just like, I don't like you. Here's a curse on your firstborn child that didn't do anything to me.
Well, I
there's-
suppose the counterbalance should be the other archfey leaders of other courts, but they kind of all
they're
just
not
do their
doing
own thing.
anything.
Well, because they kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think
They're not
Aurum,
There should be a
For
system
the-
of checks
for
and
the-
balances.
yeah, for the courts to work how you want them to work, they have to have a mortal sense of morality and value, of which they never will.
No. And we don't really we don't really see each other at all or talk to each other at all most of the time. The only time we get together is for the masquerade, and we haven't had one of those in a while.
But I agree with you, Aurum, in the sense that the child should not bear the punishment of the parents' actions.
Yeah, that just feels like holistically wrong. Everything else like kind of makes sense here, to be honest. Like,
I mean,
you gotta give to get and all of that, but like it feels like it's
I mean, to be a bit more realistic here, I'm not suffering nearly as much as my entire court is.
She is
You
the
understand that she was basically taking over the spring court.
why are all the courts separate? Why are all the seasons separate?
Well, because we
'cause-
don't really care about one another.
Can it be spring and
Well-
summer at the same time? Can it be fall and winter at the same time? No, they're separate.
They all have their own place though, and they all have their own like
Yeah.
time that they're important.
Which is why taking over the summer court is something that I don't think that we should agree with. I mean, the spring court.
Yeah, well, yeah. So I don't. What gives Titania the power to take over the spring court?
She's
That doesn't make
way
sense.
more powerful than us. That's what that gives her. The right.
What she's doing, just because she has the power to do so because she is powerful, does not mean that she is in any way right to do so. We all
Yeah.
agree she's wrong to do so.
She's a bad leader.
Well,
She's playing the role of a conqueror.
Yeah, it's like a
Counts.
dictator.
But we
You
should
even know
also
what dictator means. I
I do.
Genuinely.
I do. We play.
someone who
we
acts
play
like a
war
dick.
games sometimes. Yeah.
But I think we just all need to remember that we really can't trash talk Titania out in the open too much. Like,
Right.
we really
there
can't.
are consequences for the things that you say.
Yeah. Well, why can't she have any consequences? That doesn't make sense either.
There's no
Consequences
saying she
hopefully will
doesn't have
come.
Consequences.
I just like that her consequences, or well, the consequences she puts on others are so. If you don't do this, your whole court's gonna die. But for her, it's like, maybe it'll happen. Maybe she'll get punished. It's unfair, it's unbalanced, and it doesn't make sense in the rules of the Feywild that we've been dealing with this whole time.
Yeah, but, I mean, basically the most important rule of the Feywild is that anything can change.
But it doesn't.
Sure, things change all the time.
But at a fundamental scale, it hasn't.
We don't know that.
When there was an attempt at a change, they wiped it out of history.
Oh, well.
Because they're scared of change. The Feywild is so wondrous, but then at the same time, they're so constrained by these fundamentals. And it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's fine. It doesn't have to be for you.
I am very inspired and intrigued by your political revolution mindset. But we also need to go to the Palace of Heart's Desire and free Zybilna from her time prison, and we can put our red berets on at another time.
But will that fix anything?
I don't know.
Okay, but here's the thing.
I don't know what's happening to me.
You're talking about things that just aren't going to change, or certainly aren't going to change quickly or anytime soon. I'm literally going to fall asleep forever in the very near future, and I would like to not do that. So maybe we can focus on sort of, Clover's missing all of her magic, and that's something that she kind of wants to not have happening for very long. So maybe we focus on things that we actually have, like, solutions for, or at least a direction for how to fix it. And that's a little more immediately pressing of an issue.
And admittedly, Aurum, minus Saoirse, we're not from here. Maybe it's not our place to try and change them.
Or maybe we were meant to come here to induce the change that they need.
Like I said, you've got a big revolutionary heart, but mine is slowly being constrained by thorns.
That's true.
And
we gotta prioritize.
Here's the thing: is like you're talking about all these changes that you would like to make in my home, but you don't have to deal with the consequences of any of those changes because you're not going to stay in the Feywild.
What makes you say that?
Are you planning to stay here forever?
I feel like the Feywild needs me more than my home does.
Oh,
what about your husband? Your people that you're supposed to lead.
I'm sure they're surviving without me.
Don't you
miss them? That's not what I said. That's not what I asked.
Got him.
Right?
What about
you
the people that are waiting for you?
Yeah, you can't just go because you see another problem in another place. They might need you more than ever. You don't actually know. They can survive without you, but whether they want to is a whole other thing. You're still responsible for them.
My father went on grand adventures, traveled across multiverses. I've only ever been from the plains.
Of course, but you know what he did at the end of all of that?
Died in the plains. He died in the plains.
And started
from something that hunted him here.
He had you because he wanted to make sure that the plains would be looked after him, no?
He sent me on a journey to find out about this here.
He didn't send you anywhere. You coming here had nothing to do with what he did. Unless he was the one who took your sense of direction.
That's fine. I'll go back to the plains and leave the Feywild to fall apart.
Who's apart?
No,
we're doing just fine.
Because history is going to repeat itself. Your courts are going to get targeted again. It's going to happen again.
What we're trying to say is we all have something that we're responsible for. So let's get ourselves fixed so that we're in a position to do more. Saoirse can't save the Spring Court if she falls asleep.
And I can't save my
no
patron.
one can be saved if I consume everything in despair.
I'm not saying we're gonna not do that in the direct future. I'm having a conversation with you over the course of like 10 minutes. I don't understand how it seems like I'm abandoning that idea.
No, we're just saying like you've got a big heart and big plans, but let's just take it like one step at a time. I don't think anyone's like disagreeing. It's
I'm
just like,
disagreeing. I don't think that his plans are great. I think the courts are just fine the way they are, and I think it's kind of insulting that you come in here and start insulting my home and deciding you know what's best for it.
well, they're fine the way they are if your court doesn't get absorbed by the summer court, you mean?
Well, yeah.
Which is what's currently happening.
It's not actually happening anymore. That's sort of what Sam said, is that when she declared she was going to create another heir, that stopped.
Do you think that that means Titania is just going to abandon all plans to do it entirely? I think that's kind of his point.
Like, what if you become the next Uncourt?
Which isn't going to happen because we're going to help you. You're going to reinstate yourself
like to
as
go
the head
home,
of the
yes.
spring court. And balance will go in the correct course. And then we can also, make sure everything doesn't get consumed by despair. But one thing at a time. We gotta go to the palace.
Right.
Yes.
Sabina
Okay.
should
also
be able to
have the
help.
book.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta read a book.
Oh.
Hold
Well,
on.
you gotta decide who's gonna read a book because it requires attunement.
To be able to read the book, someone needs to attune to it. So someone's got to attune to it and read the book.
I mean, it's the thing you were after, right?
Yes, I know you want to teach Aurum to read, but can we do that with like literally any other book so I can read this one?
Yes, I feel like it'd probably be smarter to start with like something
Green
that's
eggs and ham?
probably no.
Are you my
because
mother?
If I said green eggs and ham, it sounded like was insulting your intelligence, and I'm trying not to do that.
That's the first book Jamie learned how to read.
Oh my god!
A stack of books will appear on like the little like
Maybe we can
tea
get you a
table, like
leapfrog.
coffee table.
The
that's
Seapot
between
Run.
The two chairs. There's like a little stack of books there. That would
Oh
appear.
hell yeah!
Oh my
Perfect.
It's
god.
all
Miguel.
romance novels with
Oh
like the,
my
the,
God.
tacky, the tacky clinch
Yes.
cover.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's like League of Their Own. Because that's how she teaches her how to read in the League of Their Own. It's literally, she gives her like romance novels and teaches her how to read those.
Oh
I mean,
my
the Anathan
goodness.
Why do all
Brothers
these
still
books say
stands
his
in.
gaze soften? What does that mean?
Why do I keep hearing this
Growl.
phrase?
Are they getting fuzzy? That's what soft means. No, okay.
Why are they taking off their clothes? What's happening?
Man who has a whole husband. Why are they taking off their clothes? Okay, I would like
He's like
to.
fucking Goku, and he's like, "Why would I hug a girl?" Like, Goku, you have children.
What? Gigi's a dumb name. Okay.
My god.
I'm going to attune to the black book. So everybody else has got an hour to do something.
Can I get like 30 feet away from him? Maybe 60 feet away from him?
I'm not gonna do it right here.
Okay.
Because yeah, I know there could be like, yeah, it could get freaky.
Consequences.
I would like if Don stayed in case I need to make any saving throws though, if he's willing.
Yes, I'll stay.
Yay!
Good
Come to
idea.
my room!
Yeah, sure.
There's no bed sheet anymore. You realize I made your suit out of it. I'm sleeping on a mattress.
God. Yeah, so in the hour that Ego's gonna take to attune, is there anything anyone else wants to do?
I'm gonna grab Clover by the hand. I
Okay.
want to show you something.
Okay.
All right, come here, and I'll take Clover to my room. And Saoirse has all of these. She created all of these little crystal cats, and they're all in like different colors and like different poses. So like, there's one like laying down, and one like sitting, and one like licking its paws. And then at the very top of the room, she has affixed some like vines that are like hanging a little mobile with cats kind of hanging down from it, and has angled it in such a way that there are rainbows like shimmering all over. And she goes, "This is for you. I made them for you. I'll put them in your room if you want them. But they kind of remind me of you. a lot.
Really?
Yeah, you're like a rainbow. So it doesn't rain a lot in the spring court. But when it does, and I used to really hate it whenever it did because it's wet and it's unpleasant. But then my dad showed me that whenever it rains, there's rainbows, right? But you can't get the rainbows without the rain. So even if you're sad all the time, there's still like this sort of beauty and happiness that comes off of you, even though there's like a sadness too. So you sort of remind me of that.
Thank you, Saoirse.
I think if you were Fae, you'd be the queen of the Court of Rainbows.
I'm gonna hug her. It's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me.
I have a whole title for you.
Title?
I was thinking about it last night when I was trying not to sleep.
What do you mean?
You're the queen of the Rainbow Court, mistress of felines, Our Lady of Luck, the ruling patron of kindness. That would be your title. If you were Fae.
I like that.
And with that... Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna
Sorry.
say, no. I'm glad I met you, Saoirse. I'm glad
I
you're here.
met you as well. And I'll help you as well. I know Ego said that they were going to help you, and I know that they'll stay with you to the end of the line. And I can't quite do that because I do eventually have to go like rule the Spring Court. But until then, I'm here for you, no matter what.
Me too. I'll help fix it.
That's good, because it's going to be... I don't know what we're going to have to do, but I don't think finding my true love is going to be easy.
Maybe not, but you won't be alone until you find them. We'll find them.
And you're my second friend.
We're gonna kick over to Ego / Dawn with the book attunement. You spend an hour in the presence of this book, and eventually you attune to it. I have to pull up. So, I'm about to send you.
It's very much, by the way, like I'm sitting crisscross on my bed because I don't have my hat anymore, so my hair splays out all over the room. My eyes turn inky black and it runs down my face, and I start levitating with the book as the pages are flipping. But Ego also, while doing all that, is like, "Don't be afraid, Dawn. I just kind of do that."
I'm very afraid, thanks.
No, like this always happens. I do this every morning, which is why I like sleep by myself.
You're just like speaking in tongues and then occasionally being like, "It's all good."
You're definitely making it worse. The fact that you do this all the time.
I'm sorry.
So as the attunement connects, you immediately get the sense that this is a deeply powerful and ancient item, far beyond any other magic item that you guys have encountered thus far. So I need to open your character sheet because I need to look at stuff.
Yeah, just poke around all in there.
Not my characters. My campaigns. Okay. Where's he? Right there. Okay. For this one... So you attune to the book, and there are 2 minor beneficial properties that you get and 2 minor detrimental properties that you get because this is an artifact. So the first beneficial property that you get, and this is why I had you pre-roll those 4d100s. First, you become proficient in a skill of my choice. I am going to say that you become proficient in stealth.
Oh yeah.
The second property, beneficial property that you get is that you can use an action to cast one first level spell of my choosing from it. I'll let you know what that is later. Because that I probably should have pulled that up while people were talking, but I didn't. After you cast the spell, you can roll a d6, and on a roll of 1 through 5, you can't cast it again until the next dawn. So you basically get like a free casting of stuff. Let me write this down. Proficient and stealth. This thing. For the detrimental properties. While you are attuned to this artifact, animals within 30 feet of you are hostile towards you. Additionally, you deal 1d6 necrotic damage to any plant you touch that isn't a creature.
Oh, so like when I like walk on grass, it
The
like
grass
withers.
is gonna die when you, yeah.
Oh, Ego doesn't find that to be a problem at all. I'm gonna wither every single rose I see.
God.
Yeah, I thought you'd
That's
like
so
that one.
goth.
And the animals one's gonna be interesting in the Feywild. So yeah, you attune to this. I also sent you a link in my little chat with you to this magic item if you want to add it to your sheet. But as you attune to it, you become aware of like a couple things. So number one, it's that in order to comprehend what's in this book, you do have to be attuned to it. And if any of your friends try to look at it and they're not attuned to it, which can only be one person at a time, they're just gonna see like other stuff. Specifically, they're gonna see like fables and riddles and like petty court gossip. You would also become aware of the fact that in order to actually like awaken this book to be able to read it, you need to give a kiss to the little mummified frog on the spine. Because each book needs to be like awakened once you've attuned to it, and that's the way that this one gets awoken. You also get a couple different abilities. So there's Hag's Eye, which allows you to cast clairvoyance once per long rest. You also get Forbidden Knowledge. You get a permanent +1 to your intelligence, as long as you finish reading this book, which is going to take you 80 hours. And yes.
Does that go over 20? Because I am at 20.
Yes, it is increase your intelligence by 1 to a maximum of 24.
Nice.
So you are also imbued with the essence of the hag that created this book, because each of Baba Yaga's daughters, as their like final task in their apprenticeship before they become like full-fledged witches and hags, they have to go and collect all this forbidden knowledge to put into these books, and in doing so, they're putting a piece of themselves in it. You immediately feel this little sense of Bavlorna, Blightstraw. When you attune to it, you know that this was the book that she wrote. You now have the personality trait, I detest chores and would rather have other creatures do them for me. So as long as you are attuned to the book, you have that personality trait, and that's in the item description that I linked you. Yeah. So you have to spend 80 hours reading and studying from this book in order to digest its contents and gain its benefits.
Understood.
Yeah, I basically took the like Tome of Exalted Deeds and was like, you're getting reskinned, so it's gonna take some time.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah.
Since, there's probably more to do after we freeze Ibelna, so I'll have plenty of time to read.
Yeah. But yeah, you have like a definitive like as you hold this book, like you smell like swamp water and like reeds and mud. And you just have this like sense of Bavlorna's like lazy essence. Very much like somebody who like didn't want to be bothered with anyone else or anything and wanted to offload all of her problems onto somebody else.
Based.
Don sees Ego kind of like descend back onto the bed like gets all comfy. My hair like goes down, and I'm like, my eyes go normal. I'm like, Flips a page. Oh. Flips a page.
What?
So, gosh, where to begin? This was definitely written. This is each of the hags, the daughters of Baba Yaga, they write one of these books and they imprint themselves in it, and they use it to chronicle their dark and ancient knowledge. And I mean, it's basically all her secrets. It's gonna take some time, but there's probably spells in here. There's definitely going to be lore that I need to complete my transformation, since, you know, I'm not going to let my mother be in charge of that anymore. Gonna kind of take that in my own stride. It's just that it's dense. But I mean, if you're talking, you know, book of ancient, deep, dark, esoteric magic, this is it. This is the kind of thing that I've been looking for years. Not gonna turn me evil, if you were worried about that. It's just knowledge.
All right.
Can give me some. I know how to make a pseudo hag's eye. I mean, that seems like something that I can learn from this. There's definitely a spell right at the beginning here, but
It's grease. Do you have grease?
I don't think that I have grease.
It's grease. You can cast grease with the book because Bavlorna was gross. She was crusty, and she always needed to get oiled up so that she wouldn't be so crusty. So you get grease.
I'm yeah, grease. Grease was not one of my spells. This one was Bavlorna's book. So, like for example, she's got. It looks like this is a grease spell to make things all greasy. Which I know doesn't seem like it's really useful, but like it like if there were a bunch of people chasing us, greasy floor. See, so like not evil.
Useful,
I was just trying to get ahead of it because I know I said like deep, dark, ancient magic, very powerful, and then I said like a spell that makes things greasy. But like it's just the start.
I don't know where the origins of grease spells come from. It could be, you know, I'm not a magician. I don't do that kind of stuff or know anything about it.
Trust me, I wouldn't call myself a magician either, or a wizard.
What's wrong with
this is
being a
witchcraft.
magician?
This is witchcraft, the superior, older form of magic.
Okay, it seems like I just stepped in the middle of some weird magic feud.
Well, I'm not a gross, ugly old man with a really big beard and a hat with stars on it.
Right.
That's so specific.
My bad.
We wear curly black hats and we have long hair, and they live in towers and we live in huts. It's completely different, Don.
Right.
They use staves, we use wands.
I thought magicians use wands.
Do they use wands?
The last time I heard, magicians like to use wands.
Well, they took that from us. We used wands first. They fly on like carpets, or like they have little like boots with wings on them. Broomstick. We're different.
Right.
We are.
I'm not saying you aren't.
I know, I don't know why I'm getting so defensive. I think it's just... I think I'm saying it, and I'm hearing it, and I'm defending it from myself.
But yeah.
Black
You have
Book, though.
tuned to a deeply powerful tome. And as you guys potentially set off for the Palace of Heart's Desire, because you have a couple different ways that you could get there now, via guide or giant bird, that's where we're going to leave it. And we'll get to whatever happens next in our next session. So thank you very much, as
Hell
always,
yeah.
to my players. Very good, like, RP stuff tonight. I like that. Honestly, go Aurum. Like, slay.
Pop off.
King of
I-
the Revolution.
I like that Aurum is like, guys, actually, like, what if just like we fucked, like, what if we just went cuckoo bananas? I love
Let's
that
fix
for
the
him.
Feywild. I love that for him.
No, for real. Like, he's got big aspirations.
Big ass.
If Sam could have given you a hug for that, if he hadn't like left like 5 minutes before, he would have given you a big hug. But he wasn't there. So anyway, yes, as I said, thank you as always to my players for being here. Thank you to those of you who are watching now or in the future. We appreciate you. Appreciate everyone in the chat talking about some PS1 games and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Thank you to our sponsors, Cardboard Castle Games and Little Dragon Corp. Thank you to Suncraft, Sirenscape. Follow us, subscribe to our YouTube, join our Discord. Am I missing anything? There's Fandelver tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fandelver tomorrow, so check that out. Anything else?
I think that's everything.
Okay. Well. The next time you're being chased down and then threatened by an ancient, like, astral being from beyond the stars because they're mad that you indirectly got their warlock unmagicked. Don't forget to add your proficiency bonus, and we'll see you back here next week.
Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye.